Oh, what an awesome day for a pump, dude.
Yeah, I gotta take it.
Once more with feeling. What's good, friends? Hello and welcome. It's NECC time, Marvel Rivals time. And we've got a matchup coming at you, University at Southern Indiana, the Aviators versus Governor State. CB, good to see you, friend. Welcome. We're jumping into Marvel Rivals.
Yeah, good to see you as well. There is a storm of brewing, and you can feel it all over the Marvel Rivals scene. Marvel Rivals Ignite is the talent there is going to be headed out to Guangzhou here shortly for what should be an epic LAN. The Marvel Rivals Championship season just wrapped up with some banger games across all regions. And of course, that means that the universities all over the globe are going to be taking notice, and they want a piece of the action, and this is the way that they can do it. They're gearing up for something big in the fall, ready to make a name for themselves here in Marvel Rivals Esports, and these two teams are looking to break away from the pack in their division.
Yeah, it's dope to see kind of the collegiate world jump right on in. Esports scenes kind of pop up out of nowhere, and I mean, let's be real, everything just follows the money. And so you see a giant prize pool come out for MRI, and then everybody else going to be filling in the cracks. So we come on through. We're here in Division 3. This is the final moments of our round robin, and then next week we'll jump up into playoffs. And before we get into our matchup, you know, big thing that you brought up actually right before was playoffs are on a completely different patch. So today should be the last time we see this patch. So theoretically, the most practiced our teams can be, right?
Yeah, I mean, the next patch drops, I think, in about 9 hours or so, potentially 8 to 9 hours. So, like, we're really, like, getting in there right before the buzzer. It's going to be any footage that, you know, other teams might be watching if they see these teams in playoffs, going to be completely useless. Throw that out the window. And if you're one of these teams, you know, you're going out however you damn well please. Whatever the meta is, who cares? You go in, you just go in and play. None of the rules even matter anymore.
I mean, yeah, when it comes down to it, like, that's the fun part, I think, about our Rivals kind of meta at the moment. It's dependent. Right now, it feels very dependent on your skill level. If you're really good at the flyers, then expect to see a lot of the Human Torch first and foremost, but Iron Man and Storm can also show up. Problem is the answers to them. The hit scan characters are also really, really strong. Punisher and Hela, I'm looking at you. And so what we've seen at the highest level of play is that even those dive characters that we think aren't really super hot right now can still show up and make plays. So when we look at USI versus Governor State here, CB, I really think that, honestly, like, I don't have any predictions based off of the meta. Pretty much just that Mag-Emma conversation is the only thing I'm sticking to.
Yeah, Magneto's more or less a mainstay. One other of the duelist characters that you didn't mention that I do want to touch on also is Wolverine, potentially the strongest character in the game, and that's going to dictate a lot of the ways that these players want to go. Whether or not he's banned out is going to be, it's going to kind of determine, like, where we go. Because if he's on the field, you're almost definitely going to be seeing him. He can just take a Vanguard to another zip code and, you know, have his way with him, and then get right back in just in time for T to join the rest of the team. And the enemy backline, because, you know, you're going to see the strategist trying to play the Invisible Woman to try and peel for them, the Loki to try and survive the onslaught that is Logang. And, like, that's going to dictate a lot of the pace, but I do, you know, agree, especially when it comes down to the Vanguards. You're almost definitely going to see the Magneto because he's just so strong. That Meteor M is a great tool, and Emma Frost, more or less, is going to be there to bolster him because that team up is kind of busted right now.
Yeah, two of the stronger Vanguards for sure. Just having that thick front line. So whether we get to see both of those get played is definitely going to be the big conversation. And I mean, Wolverine, that's the thing, is that if you're a duelist player right now, you kind of have to, the game hinges on Wolverine. If you don't know how to play Wolverine, they're going to 3-tank you and stick you in spawn, especially on maps like Araco and Spider, you know what I mean? So you need to kind of have that tank buster in your arsenal, because Wolverine plus Vanguard equals, well, bad day for the big Vanguard players. So, like, you gotta have that.
Yeah, and like, you talk a little bit about a lot of the flyer heroes as well. Like, Human Torch is also another one that we've seen a lot of, especially at the highest levels, and that's one of those ones that's really readable and really counterable by a lot of other characters across the board. Sure. You know, like, you've got like Ultron, who can, like, take fights in the sky against them now. So even the the strategist can get in on the action there and take down some of these flyers. You're always going to have the Hela, the Hawkeye, the Winter Soldier, the Punisher that are all strong. It's one of those things that's really, really difficult to ban out, but the Wolverine is like one where you could just be like, off the table. No, like I don't want to play. I don't want to play
Changes-
with this cat right now. No.
Yeah, Wolverine changes, simply spoken, just changes the way you play the game. Like, Groot does something similar. You have to play around those walls. You play a completely different game when Groot's in that Vanguard position. As a Vanguard player, you play a completely different game when Wolverine's on the server, even in the P's and B's. If you're going up against a team that you know has a dedicated Wolvie player, let's pretend you're insane and you don't ban it out. The way you prepare for that is make sure to prioritize the Emma. Make sure to prioritize the Thing, the characters that can't really get kidnapped away. You ain't playing no Strange. You're not playing the Groot. And so, like, those are the ways that, like, you've got to adapt around that pick. Some of the other selections can be a little more amorphous. You know, you can play around them a little bit more efficiently. That Wolverine definitely scares me. So, I mean, before we jump into picks and bans, I'm not going to ask you to predict these two teams, you know, new teams. Sure.
No data on them.
But predict me some P's and B's, because that, obviously, the jump-off point is, I think Wolverine is probably a safe ban straight up and down.
I would kind of agree. A lot of what we're talking about meta-wise comes down to the highest levels, and if you look over on the side of GSU, they do have a player who's going to be leading the charge who has been at the highest levels. You've got Derry, a freshman coming in as an IGL peaked eternity and has helped level this team up. Having someone who has been playing at those high levels, you know, kind of leading the charge on your team means you at least have that little bit of insider information as it pertains to what is being played up towards the top. So maybe this guy's like, okay, well, do we have a competent Wolverine on our team? Yes or no? If no, I don't want to deal with this one because, you know, he's just that strong, right? And if we can't ban that character out, we have to have a backup game plan. I also do want to shout out another player on that team, Gremlin, former Overwatch player. Me too. Hey, you know, a lot of players from other esports making the jump over to Marvel Rivals because it is that kind of gold rush feeling where, like you said, you got that big prize pool that dropped up at the top and everyone's like, I want to get to that level. This game is fun. I'm super excited about the esports scene. And of course, both of these teams, so excited they started up very recently, actually.
I mean, that's the good stuff, right? I think our picks and bans, or at least our map selection, coming at us soon, so we should be able to jump into the action. But no, that's the idea, absolutely. Two brand new programs, both USI and Governor State, kind of starting up, jumping in here into the rival session. And that's one of the coolest things. I mean, CB, you've been in the Overwatch scene for a while. That's one of the coolest things for me is, like, you know, I've been a little esports vagabond as well. And this is one of the first times we're really seeing, like, almost every player has some sort of background from a different game that they've played a whole bunch, and seeing the different cultures and the different, like, players come in there with their different backgrounds makes for just interesting soil. So let's jump in. We've got our hero bands coming out here right about now. And so we talked a little bit about Wolverine. That might be where we're going to go. Maybe even see some of the Magneto and the Emmas, but certainly those are really the powerful picks that I'm thinking of at the moment.
Yeah, I'm also predicting potentially the Loki ban coming out from either one side or the other, because again, he is another one of those characters that is really strong, especially up at the tippity top. He's very survivable against the Wolverine. He builds his ult really, really quickly, so you can pair him with either the Cloak and Dagger and just get a free Eternal Bond. Like, it feels like candy. So that's another one of those things that I think the players up towards the top who have been up at the top of the mountain, the high-ranked players, and by the way, there's two of them over on USI Aviators. We also got some Celestial talent over there. Spider-Man ban coming out, though, I think that's one that everyone at just about every level can appreciate.
Spider-Man ban is, to me, a frustration ban, but to these players must be a homework ban. Like, Spider-Man doesn't, 9 times out of 10, he's not overwhelmingly effective, because at a competitive level of play, you can turn and mag bubble, turn and push. There's answers, but when you've got that player, you got to watch out. So I'm thinking a lot of homework. We're running on through here. Winter Soldier and Storm protected by either side here, and no really surprise bans coming out. The strange one, though, means no portals, which kind of changes the way we play the game.
Speaking of ways that we're playing the game, one of the characters that I mentioned that is a pseudo-direct counter to the Wolverine, who we've talked a lot about, Invisible Woman, banned out by Governor State University. Her pull being able to just yank Wolverine off of whoever he tries to abduct, that is one of the most effective counters to that character. I think that might mean that GSU does have a competent Wolverine in their back pocket. They're also going to protect the Cloak and Dagger. I don't think they're... Oh, and a man out onto the other side of the Wolverine. Yeah, this is diabolical right out the gate from GSU.
The Emma and the Storm protects for Aviators is what I'm looking at. Meanwhile, Georgia State University protects out over one of the go-to healers, and the Bucky Barnes. All right, so that's the interesting one. Storm, meta strong. Emma, meta strong. Cloak and Dagger, sure, bud. And then Soldier protect, and you see the Gremlin over here going to select it. Gremlin has some competitive experience. I'm going to drag out of absolutely no. I'm guessing Gremlin's a beast on this Bucky pick because that is an oddball protect, and that's putting your money down.
Yeah, but like having the Wolverine band on the other side, the Winter Soldier is another one of those kind of like not high tier characters. Actually, this is interesting composition coming out, at least initially, from Governor State across the board with the Cloak and Dagger, the Loki, and the Rocket with a triple support backline. Also, yeah, the Thor. We almost never see any Thor.
Thor is interesting. I think with the whole gang, the entire ensemble of heroes in this game, I think are balanced heavily. I think the worst character is really like a C. And so if you're good enough, go for it. Thor might be the worst character in the game.
All of the Vanguards, almost certainly, yeah.
Yeah, he's rough, but like I said, if you're able to make it happen, all you have to do is kind of find the positioning and push the enemy out of that. So that's the mentality with Thor. For now, he'll just kind of punch up. It's always tough to get to this point. At this point, you're just looking for one easy pick, which is why I like the Bucky going into this one, because you find one pull and one push, you can end it, but it's Adam on the other side. Aviators are going to put down Daryl relatively early, and with that 5-on-6 positioning, should be able to claim the point at first.
Yeah, both teams opting for this triple strategist comp, but Aviators have the one that's got the real sauce behind it, the damage coming out from Z-Duel. That Adam Warlock is, it might as well be a third duelist for all that it's worth, or I guess in this case it's a second one because the Storm is the other option here, but Derry playing that Thor and now going to leave it back at the spawn room, swap over to that Emma Frost. That's their IGL, so again, someone who has to try and play forward and be the leader and be the shot caller, and got a little bit too aggressive trying to make something happen, got picked off for it, and that's Aviators in early control here.
Going to be really tough for GSU to break out of this. I'm looking at Gremlin. I'm glad we're riding along with him because I expect a pull instead. It's going to be the Rocket ultimate into the Bucky nonsense. Ultimate's good for one. Can't really find the target, goes underneath and looks for it, but the dash is bad, so one single reset, and it's going to be Booger Butt, the tank, falling for Aviators. Secondary initiation comes down from Derry. The Scream is good and puts down two separate players, claims a third, and Gremlin on the backside puts down the Storm. So the Aviators fall on down, GSU able to maintain control, their point for the first time.
Yeah, one of those key pickoffs there was Thunder, who was holding on to that Fate of Both Worlds, didn't get the opportunity to pop it, couldn't prolong that fight any longer, so 50% is what Aviators are going to have to be happy with, even if Booger Butt's feeling a little bit vandalistic these days, just chopping down some statues in the meantime, waiting for the resets to come out. We do have the Eternal Bond from Spider-Man over on the side of Governor State University, so expect things to get real strategist ult heavy here in this next fight.
Also, just expect a whole bunch of ults in general. Pango is going to go in, and that should answer with a... No, not at all. Instead, it's just a three-piece. Just like that. Don't even need the dipping sauce. Hirako and Pango combined to take out three separate players. Governor State University burned the Eternal Bond way after the fact. Just a little bit too little, too late. We'll see some dancing on the point here, CB, but this is Aviators up and down.
Yeah, Governor State still do manage to match the overall capture percentage, and since they haven't conceded the point fully yet, it's still ticking up, so they're even going to take the lead, at least temporarily, and force some resources out of our production PCs, because now who even knows what's going on? Everyone burns all their ultimates, and the fight's over, I guess. Game crash on the observer side. Okay, that is unfortunate.
Yeah, we'll jump back in there in a matter of moments. But good cat pick. That's what I'll say.
Yeah, excellent cat pick.
Big fan of the cat. Coming out, let's blast real quick about these backlines, because you brought up a great point. The Atom brings up actual real damage. Atom plus the Storm benefit you're basically playing baby Hella. Like, you're really swinging. Hella hits for 70 damage a shot. Adam hits for about 60 damage a shot, plus a storm, plus a burst fire. You know where I'm going. I love this Adam pick, and I like when I see DPS players flex over to it. So I'm never going to complain. I'm really annoying about small details, CV, and like triple support. You're right. It is triple support. I'm never going to say it's not, but like, I'm the DPS guy, and I'm going to go Adam. Like,
it's triple strategist, but like, is it though? I mean, like, one thing that I do also like about the Adam pick is, you know, we go back to the picks and bans. The res composition is still on the table because we didn't get a Mantis or a Star-Lord ban, so that is something that Aviators could potentially swap over to if they do feel like they're being read out on the first map here on Waterfall when they move over to the next sub point here on Baron and T'Challa, but. Right now, they don't really need it because all of the damage coming through with the Storm and the Adam Warlock, we saw that 3K coming through. That was absolutely just disgusting. And even with the Eternal Bond coming out, like you said, a little bit too late, I don't think there was any. I probably couldn't have even saved them, honestly. There's so much damage coming out so quickly. There is nothing that Governor State University could have ever done.
Yeah, it was a little bit of, caught the opponent tripping on their own shoelaces. I think that the Storm ultimate, you've got to respond with a strategist ult. That's kind of like the math. We know that math. We've seen that math. And so by not having the strategist ultimate available, that's the breakdown. You need to have that strat ult available when the Storm pops it. If not, you're going to get deep fried every single time. So the 3P might have just been an appetizer if we're not able to see those strategist ults kind of pick up, because I mean that's really that's not deep X's and O's. That's not deep strategy. Big team white comes. Here we go. Like
like I play a lot of strategists. Like Luna Snow was one of my first mains when I started playing the game, and I know that whenever I was playing ranked, it would always be like, if there's a Storm on the enemy team, I am not using this. You can pry this ult from my cold dead hands until she pops that hurricane. Otherwise, there's no chance. Because if I pop it before then and then she pops her ult, I'm dead. There's nothing I could ever do. I can't get away. It feels unfair, but it also, kind of feels unfair that I could just say, no, you get no value out of this actually because I have an ultimate. So that's that's just kind of like the order of operations that it has to be. And having that beta both worlds.
Yeah, the order of operations, perfectly said. Like that's exactly it. And I find that that's like, we'll use terms like ultimate economy later on, and like that's exactly what we're talking about. Just like, did you get your ult fast enough? Did you burn it in the wrong spot? Do you have it when you need it? That's really all that we're chatting about when we're getting into like the finer points of that side of the world. But the first point should be finishing up pretty soon. We'll get back into it. Like we said, a little bit of an issue on the observer side, our bad, but we'll fix it. We'll get back in right after these messages. So see you on the other side. I'll be right back.
Easy. Doc says if I exert myself, I will die.
You overexert yourself, you will die.
I'll tell you what, you finish the workout, all these could be yours. That looks good. A little bit of honey ham for the ham. Get after it, and that's your, get after it, and that's your treat. Stay, do the exercise, do the work, then you get the reward. That's how this works, man. You gotta give it max effort, maximum effort. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Big hams. Make it work, those hams. Work. Putting in the work. Yeah, baby. Yes. Dude, this is a spicy workout. Gotta make it worth it. Building the beef and bringing home the bacon, baby. I'm loving it. Teriyaki is just about within your reach. Come on, get you some. Come on. Ooh, ooh. Maximum effort. Maximum effort. You're there. You're almost there.
That's so worth it.
What do you make of this up here? Just showed up in the yard a couple days ago.
Dog been digging in there?
I don't think so, dude. That goes way down in there. Seriously, did you just lose your meat stick?
Yeah.
Oh, no. There's something in there, dude. Just leave it.
Are you kidding me?
We'll just head to the house. Just leave it.
The hell with that.
Oh, yeah, there's something in there.
Come on.
Thank you.
It was worth it.
Oh man, this is incredible.
Wow.
Huh?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. Hey man, grab me a meat stick. I think I can reach it if I just a little more. Just let me go a little. I can't. Just a little more. I almost got it. Careful! Oh God! No, come on, just reach. Reach. Just grab my hand. I can't hold it. Grab my hand.
Give me the meat stick. This other hand's closer. The one with the stick is. Oh. What am I supposed to say?
It doesn't matter. He's dead. He ain't listening to you anyway.
I'm hungry.
No. Put it away. I can't put it. Oh, crap. Just reach in. You gotta pull it. Just grab it. Just take it out of his hand. You just can't. What do you mean you can't?
He won't let go.
What do you mean he won't let go? He's dead.
Help me. Get in there. No, just hold on.
Make him let go of it. No, I got you covered. Just go in for a hug. Go and get on in there. It's a bad loss. Yeah, hug him up. Just reach, hug him up.
He's breathing. I think it's on the other side.
Go.
I can't.
Just-
I can't do it.
Help me, Lord. Help me get over this loss.
I can't breathe.
Yeah, I can't breathe. I'm so upset. I can't breathe. Stop. You knock on wood so they go to heaven. It's like a lucky. Hey, get the stick.
Yeah.
Hey, do you the meat stick?
Yeah, I got it.
Hey, just hold tight for a second. They're moving the casket. Just hold tight.
Yeah, that's no worries. I got it.
Oh, what an awesome day for a pump, dude.
Yeah, I gotta take it easy. Doc says if I exert myself, I will die.
You overexert yourself, you will die.
I'll tell you what, you finish the workout, all these could be yours. That looks good. A little bit of honey ham for the ham. Get after it, and that's your, nope, get after it, and that's your treat. Do the exercise, do the work, then you get the reward. That's how this works, man. You gotta give it max effort, maximum effort. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Big hams. Make it work, those hams. Work 'em. Putting in the work. Yeah, baby. Yes. Dude, this is a spicy workout. Gotta make it worth it. Building the beef and bringing home the bacon, baby. I'm loving it. Teriyaki is just about within your reach. Come on, get you some. Come on. Ooh, ooh. Maximum effort. Maximum effort. You're there. You're almost there.
That's so worth it.
What do you make of this up here? Just showed up in the yard a couple days ago.
Dog been digging in there?
I don't think so, dude. That goes way down in there. Seriously, did you just lose your meat stick?
Yeah.
Oh, no. There's something in there, dude. Just leave it.
Are you kidding me?
We'll just head to the house. Just leave it.
The hell with that.
Oh, yeah, there's something in there.
Want one?
Thank you.
It was worth it.
Oh man, this is incredible.
Wow.
Huh?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. Hey man, grab me a meat stick. reach it if I just a little more. Just let me go a little. I can't. Just a little more. I almost got it. Careful! Oh, God. No, come on, just reach. Just grab my hand. Grab my hand.
Give me the meat stick. This other hand's closer. The one with the stick is. Oh. What am I supposed to say?
It doesn't matter. He's dead. He ain't listening to you anyway.
I'm hungry.
No. Put it away. I can't watch it. Oh, crap. Just reach in. You gotta pull it. Just grab it. Just take it out of his hand. You just. What do you mean you can't?
He won't let go.
What do you mean you won't let go? He's dead.
Help me. Get in there. No, just hold on.
Make him let go of it. No, I got you covered. Just go in for a hug. Go and get on in there. It's a bad loss. Yeah, hug him up. Just reach, hug him up.
He's breathing. I think it's on the other side.
Go.
I can't.
Just-
I can't do it.
Help me, Lord. Help me get over this loss.
I can't breathe.
Yeah, I can't breathe. I'm so upset. I can't breathe. Stop. You knock on wood so they go to heaven. It's like a lucky. Hey, get the stick.
Yeah.
Hey, do you the meat stick?
Yeah, I got it.
Hey, just hold tight for a second. They're moving the casket. Just hold tight.
Yeah, that's no worries. I got it.
Oh, what an awesome day for a pump, dude.
Hey, I gotta take it easy. Doc says if I exert myself, I will die.
You overexert yourself, you will die.
I'll tell you what. You finish the workout, all these could be yours. That looks good. A little bit of honey ham for the ham. Get after it, and that's your get after it, and that's your treat. Stay. Do the exercise, do the work, then you get the reward. That's how this works, man. You gotta give it max effort, maximum effort. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Big hams. Make it work, those hams. Work 'em. Putting in the work. Yeah, baby. Yes. Dude, this is a spicy workout. Make it worth it. Building the beef and bringing home the bacon, baby. I'm loving it. Teriyaki is just about within your reach. Come on, get you some. Come on. Ooh, ooh. Maximum effort. Maximum effort. You're there. You're almost there.
That's probably worth it.
What do you make of this up here? Just showed up in the yard a couple days ago.
Dog been digging in there?
I don't think so, dude. That goes way down in there. Seriously, did you just lose your meat stick?
Yeah.
Oh, no. There's something in there, dude. Just leave it.
Are you kidding me?
We'll just head to the house. Just leave it.
The hell with that.
Oh, yeah. There's something in there.
Want one?
Thank you.
It was worth it.
Oh, man, this is incredible.
Wow.
Huh?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. Hey, man, grab me a meat stick. I think I can reach it if I just a little more. Just let me go a little. I can't. Just a little more. I almost got it. Careful! Oh, God. No, come on, just reach. Just grab my hand. Grab my hand.
Give me the meat stick. This other hand's closer. The one with the stick is. What am I supposed to say?
It doesn't matter. He's dead. He ain't listening to you anyway.
I'm hungry.
No. Put it away. I can't watch it. Oh, crap. Just reach in. You gotta pull it. Just grab it. Just take it out of his hand. What do you mean you can't?
He won't let go.
What do you mean he won't let go? He's dead.
Help me. Get in there. No, just hold on.
Make him let go of it. No, I got you covered. Just go in for a hug. Go and get on in there. It's a bad loss. Yeah, hug him up. Just reach, hug him up.
He's breathing.
I think it's on the other side.
Go.
I can't.
Just-
I can't do it. Help!
Help me, Lord. Help me get over this loss.
I can't breathe.
Yeah, I can't breathe. I'm so upset. I can't breathe. Stop. You knock on wood so they go to heaven. It's like a lucky. Hey, get the stick.
Yeah.
Hey, do you the meat stick?
Yeah, I got it.
Hey, just hold tight for a second. They're moving the casket. Just hold tight.
Yeah, that's no worries. I got it.
And we are back, and map 1's done. GSU took it. Sorry about that, but won't happen again. We'll jump into map 2, which is going to be Hall of Jalia, and we won't crash this time. Promise.
Yeah, we do know that GSU won map 1, but unfortunately, how they did it, they will be lost to the sands of time. We'll never know. It's entirely possible that once they went to Stellar Spaceport, both teams just flipped Venom, did an oiled up torque off just for the point. GSU probably won it, but now we're heading out to Hall of Jalia, and Hall of Jalia, that is going to be the Aviators map pick.
It will be, which obviously, feeling more confident on that one. Although, that's one of the things that I'm definitely a little curious about as teams kind of like jump into a new scene, some from different areas, what the thought process is on these different maps. I think that sometimes we have teams that really specialize in one map, and then other squads that are more kind of open-ended. When we look at the Overwatch world, from where you have a lot of competitive experience, what's the vibe like? Is it like a tac shooter like Valorant where you're like, okay, we're dope at this one?
Heroes, certain characters just don't really have any place to play. Like, again, you brought up the Flyers before. On a large skyscrapers, there's plenty of aerial cover, there's plenty of places that they can play. On a map like Hall of Jalia, not as much. They're still viable, and you do have a little bit of that verticality that they can play around, but you still, kind of want to just go for the good old classic ground and pound. And one thing we did see both of these teams go is that triple strategist. This is another map that I think facilitates the triple strategist very well. We see a lot of Loki, we see a lot of Rocket Raccoon, we see a lot of the res comp here, and those are all things we've already seen these teams kind of lean for. To me, this kind of feels like they're just trying to play for those strengths.
Especially on defense, when it comes to the res comp, like this is one of my high level takes that I'm right about. This is just objective. Like the res comp gets higher in
you're
value.
objectively right about everything, yeah.
About this one for sure. I will not say for everything, but for this one, like the further you are away from your spawn point, the more valuable that res comp is. And so on defense of this first point, you are light years away from where you spawn at. A lot of times a single pick can result in the entire point being owned, and then we push on a step 2. So like very, very important if you're going to lean on some of that res comp earlier on. I'm expecting that here on defense right now. So that's what I go into picks and bans with. I enter my draft understanding that that's really on the table and that might be something that we have to run into. So we'll jump into our draft right here, right now. Last time around, Storm did work, and that's all we saw. but I'm going to think that Storm is probably prioritized for these teams still.
Yeah, Storm might be something that I think if you're GSU, you definitely want to ban. And of course, if we're talking about the res comps, we want to be looking at both the potential for like either Adam Warlock or Mantis to be banned to try and ban that one out completely, or the Rocket Raccoon ban, or a Rocket Raccoon Protect, because you can still play with the BRB beacon. Have the sorry, that's a Chai T moment saying BRB beacon. It's the beacon, you know. I'm trying to call it what it is. Yeah, the ATM machine, the Chai Tea, all of that stuff. Spider-Man and Captain America both banned right out the gate. That's second verse, same as the first. We saw those same two coming right out. And hey, there is the Bucky Protect as well.
Happened last game as well. We didn't get a lot of time to see it. Literally, we only saw one Bucky play, and it didn't work out. But I am a big proponent of, like, just because you know, even Babe Ruth struck out, right? So you go, you protect it again, you see if you can change the song and dance this time around. USI, the Aviators, wound up losing it, but they still trust Gremlin.
Yeah, these bans, by the way, look almost identical to what we had on the previous map, but just flipped. So I'm curious if, like, the graphic might either these teams like swap brains midway through, or if the graphic just needs to be updated because the team switch sides. But pretty much everything looks exactly like what we've seen, which I guess leads me to believe that, again, both teams want to try and go for their version of those triple strategist backlines with, you know, the Loki on one side and the Adam Warlock on the other. We never got to see how, but assuming everyone stuck to their guns throughout the entirety of Beard and T'Challa, the Loki was the one that won the day. Okay,
Sure.
No, that's new. Okay, an Ultron Protect is definitely new.
Yeah, definitely not something that we saw the first time around. Flyers do pretty well on excuse me. Flyers do pretty well on that last map, so if you're going to play it anywhere, I think the last map is a little safer for Flyers than this one. So an interesting look. Ultron is, of course, both a flyer and an anti-flyer. He does really well at killing those flyers, so being protected here might not be for the flyer comp, but to deal across the way. But yeah, you mentioned before, Governor State, Dari, Zinner, Chaos Mel, yeah, they're going to be up in blue on the top side this time around.
Yeah, and I'm not seeing the triple strategist up on the top side there, but I am seeing a hint of it over down there on the bottom from Aviators. And that was something else that I kind of wanted to highlight, is that Ultron is another one of those characters like the Adam Warlock, like the Loki, that does very, very well in these triple strategist backlines, because his healing isn't particularly high unless everyone's playing really huddled up around that one drone, and you're getting like maximum value out of those imperative firewalls. Like, it's not going to be like the highest heals ever. You need to have something else that can kind of bolster it. And I think a Luna Snow and a Cloak and Dagger might be a little bit overkill as far as the healing's concerned. But that does mean that Pango can basically play the Ultron in the same way that he was previously playing the Storm.
Yeah, this is just a raw DPS choice, essentially. And the fun part is you're 100% right. You're getting 50 healing a second by having the patch on board. That's not a zillion. But what it is it's the difference maker in these 1v1 duels that we see a lot of the time, especially when it comes down to the Iron Man. He finds like a pseudo flank, blasts somebody with the beam, and whoever he's blasting just shoots him in the face. If he has the patch, that duel goes in the other direction. This is a strategy that we saw very early on in the inaugural, like, Season 0 of Marvel Rivals competition, where everybody walks up inside on the left-hand side, and it looks like the defenders, the Aviators, were kind of ready for it. No kills just yet, just a lot of whole pressuring and peppering, but no real push. I think they're waiting for this one, the door to be opened by the tank. Thing runs in there, big damage going his way, and Boogerbot winds up falling on down. Chaos also eating it, but not falling, so a good staunch defense from the Aviators.
Yeah, it kind of just comes down to Boogerbot going in super deep there to try and make some space for the rest of the team to get out of that hallway, but there was still a ton of pressure from the likes of right here, the first Chaos going in with the Hulk. And you can see, being able to go in, take all that aggro, pop back out with the incredible leap, live to fight another day, and continue to keep the entirety of Aviators corralled in this little hallway. They can't quite find a way out until they start to pop some ults here.
A little bit of trouble there. I think it was a pull, because ain't no way one of the players from Aviators would jump on in. Safe and sound, though. Chaos, again, trying to push players out, and Governor State having a little bit of trouble getting on in. And just before Thunder fell, I was about to say, no real KOs going the other way, so not a huge deal. But as soon as Thunder falls, now we see all the ultimates coming out, and I don't think this is a good look. Maximum Pulse claims one, and E-Rock claims the other side. So Aviators had a good angle, can't finish it off.
I'm loving this team up here with the Iron Man and the Ultron coming out from Z-Duel and Pango as well. And you can see the flyer comp start to pay dividends once you're able to break out of that hallway and you get all of the free open airways and all the different directions that leaders have to look into to try and get any sort of, governors have to look at to try and get any sort of picks. And that maximum pulse coming through from Z-Duel is one of the most effective counters to that Eternal Bond, one of the most powerful ultimates in the game, one that right now Jordan on the other side should be able to mimic with that Loki ultimate.
The Aviators on defense pop up the Eternal Bond of their own. Daryl's got the Psychic Scream available, but doesn't even need it. Darry, IGL, just going to go ahead and push forward, dealing the damage. And another good stop from the Aviators. Governor State were able to take the point earlier on, but now they're going to need a full reset if they want to take this point and move it forward.
Yeah, we got a Psionic Seduction on the side of GSU, just waiting to come out, and Aviators, they're going to have a lot of ults of their own, they're going to have their own Psionic Seduction, so I'm kind of looking at which of those two ultimates gets the most value. The Kraken Impact from Gremlin, I think, could be absolutely massive. You're going to be looking at Pango and Z-Duel to try and dodge that up in the sky and maybe hit a big play somewhere. Z-Duel coming up on another Pulse Cannon here shortly, so a lot of ults coming up soon, but we have to bide our time until we actually get there.
Well, the point finally moving now as the Aviators stick their feet down. The red team try to push forward. Booger Butt gets interrupted. Great grab by Emma, and Darry's going to transfer that into an offensive push. Psionic Seduction comes out and just stops everything. Luna brings out the dance floor, so it's an all-out red light. Now we continue on. You hear the co-op time. That's going to be Governor State side. And the Hulk jumps onto the backside, finds a KO of his own. Healer gets juggled, pummeled, pushed, and pounded. Another one for the blue team. Darry on the last hit on the other side as well. So 3, making a 4th player separate, sitting down. Another great stop for GSU.
They call him the first Chaos because he thrives in chaos and creates it himself. He goes in super deep while the rest of the team is playing around that Fate of Both Worlds because it comes out from Thunder. And as soon as that dance floor expires, he says, all right, after hours, I'm starting a bar fight. Let's go. Takes 2. And so far, Aviators haven't been able to break this hold from Governor State. Now is their chance because they have a sizable ult advantage.
And it's going to be E-Rock starting things off. 1-2, buckle my shoe, and Booger Butt, who got pummeled the first time around. He got interrupted by Darry. Couldn't do anything last fight. This time, claims a knockout of his own. But honestly, E-Rock 0, that's number 1 for me. Starts the fight and finishes it. You look good, girl.
Yeah, that is the president and founder of Aviators Esports Club, by the way. Really leading the charge for the team. And I got to imagine, someone like that, the IGL says, all right, Psionic Seduction time. Y'all come in and follow up. Aviators do just that, and they've nearly got the cap. The Eternal Bond's going to come out from both sides, though, and that's going to make it all the more difficult. The Pulse Cannon not enough to stop it. Aviators have to try and find a way to wait this out.
Big protect from Darry there. Tosses out the shield to grab the missile. Exactly what you want to see. This, not so much. The whale's available, but he falls down first. Gremlin pops the ultimate. Already struck 1, but taken out before he could continue the resets. And so 4 players on defense means Spider-Man, not a hero, that's our support player. The strategist pops out the ult themselves, and that'll negate a ton of damage from Aviators. Just that stop is good enough. Great shot from the strategists. Darry follows up with the ultimate, and this should just be cleanup on aisle 7.
Yeah, kill onto Burger Butt there, and Psionic Seduction now going to come up from Airrock. I mean, Aviators decided the fight is not quite over yet, but yeah, Darry and First Chaos going to go in. They're going to say, no, we have decided it is in fact over. You do not get another opportunity. Pango going to go ahead and pop the Rage of Ultron, and can't quite find the kill onto Airrock with 1 HP. Darry comes through, survives Thunder with that last shot there, and Aviators may have just run out of steam.
This is a bad spot to be in. E-Rock popping the Psionic Seduction there at the end and kind of wasting it is the opposite of what you're looking for. Zinner gets an okey-doke at the last moment. And the Iron Man comes through and changes everything. 2 people immediately sent back to spawn. Only 4 people to play defense. And Z-Dust isn't done yet. Z-Duel gets a 3rd. Great stall by Hulk here with the transformation. Ultimately surrounded by red jerseys, CB. He'll fall down, and with the point right in front, overtime, I know. Could be
Those
another
overtime
stop here,
limbs.
but it's going to be tight.
And those overtime limbs, though, the respawn timer, it feels like an eternity, but every limb for the attacking side is going to inch them closer and closer, but they can't afford to lose anybody because every limb on that side might as well be 2. And finally managed to evict everybody from the side of Governor State from the dance floor. They have now made it through point B on their way to point C, but only a minute and a half in the time bank. That stagger kill they're onto Zinner is going to be absolutely massive, but they're going to have to try and get around this first corner here. This is where things get really tricky. First Chaos is already postured to try and put up a stall.
Man, E-Rock might have lost it with the ult swing. Well, Z-Duel brought him right back in with an ult of his own. Great job by the Iron Man player, literally wheeling the team into the next point. And so with under a minute to go, halfway through the second point. Oh, dirty shots from Zinner, taking Z-Duel out of the sky. And an all-out brawl up front. Zinner doing work on the Namor in the neutral. And even with the ult, finds one after the fact. This has been a very, very clinical he's just getting the knockdowns, man. Like, there is no ult economy conversation. He just clicked heads.
Yeah, people forget how strong Namor can be as an anti-aircraft carrier, like just taking down Z-Duel, clean out of the sky, gets the kill there onto Burger Butt as well, and even has the bubble to survive getting grabbed by Airrock there. That's fantastic play from Zinner. But you want to talk about ult economies. Aviators have quite the bank behind them now. Whether it matters is going to depend on if Governor State can get some kills, but they're looking to spend.
What a combo. Knock up, pull in, put down. E-Rock follows up Booger Butt, and everyone but Gremlin falls to the wayside. We push up even further. CB, it is OT. Gotta be concerned.
Yeah. And Z-Duel has a bit of a Sophie's choice he's going to have to make here, because you have the Eternal Bond from Spider-Man on the side of Governor State, but you're also going to have to worry about the fate of both worlds. You can use this pulse cannon to try and stop the Eternal Bond, but
shoot it.
Where is it? Get the shot. There it is. It is absolutely massive. Takes down Gremlin as well.
2 of them fall down to the wayside. Great usage again by Z-Duel. Brought them into this point, now trying to bring them to the finish line. The Hulk is not tall enough. Neither is Luna, neither is Namor. Point confirmed. Aviators make it all the way home. 3 above Zoe.
And crucially, that kill comes through before the fate of both worlds comes up from Thunder. And that's enough to send them home. Those pulse cannons that keep coming out from Z-Duel are what are keeping Aviators in the fight when they really don't have any business being. That's why you talk about, the picks that come out from Zinner on the Namor. If Z-Duel is one of the ones to fall, then so too does Aviators' hope of completing the map. No time left in the bank as we flip sides here. Governor State, if you're on the attacking side now going up against Aviators, you got to imagine they're not going to be making too many changes. What do you come out the gates with?
Straight up and down, anti-air control and dealing with the Iron Man and Governor State University. Thank you, my friends. You brought me exactly what I was looking for. Zinner on the Hela is going to shoot the Iron Man, and First Chaos on the Magneto is going to make sure that the invincible pulse cannon can't find a target. Every single time you hear maximum pull, then Magneto's just going to grab it with the Meteor M. It's just that simple. Perfectly planned. Let's see if they can perfectly execute.
I was actually kind of curious about the Hela as well, because Hela wasn't banned. I would have liked to see that swap come out as soon as Aviators made that. They showed their hand that they were coming out with the Ultron and Iron Man. I think the Hela is going to definitely pay dividends here, especially on the attack, because you have the ability to get into some of these angles that the Namor can't quite get without expending the bubble. So you're going to want to try and lean on that, play for some flank angles, and maybe try and pick one of these bots out of the sky. You do also still have to worry about this frontline duel, though, because Airrock has been a absolute stellar Emma Frost to the side of Aviators. Once again, their IGL for sure, leading the team all the way into OT.
Long range poke here. Nothing doing just yet. I like how close Gremlin is playing
pick.
up with the Bucky. That's what he's looking for. Couple of shots trying to land, and then dashing in. Ooh, a little bit of a burn. And doesn't have the grab just yet either. Instead, it's just going to be a casual push down by Magneto, finding one. Players getting pushed into the left-hand side. And another casual takedown on that little corner. Not a lot of defense here. Surprising kill from E-Rock, to be honest with you. But I think Governor State just take this in the neutral kind of for free.
Yeah, for sure, but I do like the determination from Arak to go in super deep and get that kill onto Zinner, even if it's not going to amount to anything. You know, knowing that that Hella swap had to be made, that's at least a moral victory for the side of Aviators, but that's not going to be enough to hold the point. You do have access to this little high ground here, this little hill that, you know, Aviators lost a lot of time on their attack on. Now the shoe is on the other foot. Arak, okay, no, shoes are off at the door. No socks in the house.
First Chaos again, just... I'm going to use the word casual again. Just casually walking them down, Gremlin, showing why they protected this Bucky selection. And Governor State University. You know,
yeah,
see,
casually.
Keep going. Snowball fight.
I feel like myself again.
Embrace the light. Almost there. Don't turn that now.
On the field, yeah, like you said, first Chaos taking that swap over. You're going to lose Zinner early on. That's going to be at least a little bit of a thorn in their side, but they have more than enough to fight back.
I like how Z-Duel, as soon as he sees the Hella go down, he pushes forward. Oh, bruh. Not a great ult, but Magneto on the other side has an ult of his own. And the shield comes out. A decent stop here from the red team. And the response, the Psionic Seduction now on the swing back. They're going to follow up the Luna as well, and a couple of kills could come the way of Aviators, and they will. E-Rock claims 2 knockdowns, and 1 goes to a teammate as well. And so a little bit of a rough time for Georgia State, but they got 3 minutes and 40 seconds, so no big deal. We'll hit it again.
But it cost them nearly everything. There's a Kraken impact on both sides, but the Kraken impact is all Aviators had. And by the way, they had to make the swap over off of the Ultron, off of the Iron Man after that Pulse Cannon went a little bit awry. Now over on the Atom Warlock. So we're back to triple strategist. What did actually work out quite well for Aviators, but they have to keep this damage up. We'll see some swaps coming out from the side of Governor State. We've now got the Groot on the field looking to try and section off one of the members of Aviators, hopefully one of those strategists, but Derry falling early on, you're not really going to get much of a chance to do that, and I don't think this Goddess of Death is going to get a whole lot of value from Zinner either.
Well, it opens the door, and that's what matters. Gremlin follows up as well, goes in the ultimate, grabs 2, and lands on the back line. Shot, 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 chaser! The follow-up will be good as well. The Thing eats it as well. And all is well for Aviators. Fantastic job from Gremlin. As Governor State makes sure to push them in and get this second point.
That is a 6K from my fellow hero shooter veteran, showing what a real hero shooter player can do. The skills transferring over. It's like just a fish to water, Gremlin, on this Bucky, and the momentum is still very heavily in Governor State's favor. They've got the Strangling Prison from the first Chaos. If you want to let that rip, you could get some stagger kills here. Maybe take down Pengo. Clobbering Time going to come out early on from Booger Butt, though.
First Chaos falls down, and so the front line a little bit wonky. Darius going to pop the Psionic Seduction, was very low HP, and winds up getting out of there no problem. 2 takedowns for Governor State, and Dari follows up with a third. So 3 players standing tall on defense, even with the Eternal Bond underneath. Was going to say no harm, no foul, but Pengo Wango goes on in. Finds a shot from the long range for Bucky. And the follow-up is coming from the other side, armed and dangerous for Gremlin. But he's paused, can't continue. So just pulls, punches, and pushes. And the offense is still coming on in here. Point still hasn't stopped.
But what a freeze that comes out from absolutely shut down the crack and impact from Gremlin. Pango's also got shut down as well, so we're back into a neutral for the Buckies. The Thunder gonna try and keep the momentum going. Fate of both worlds going to be popped. And Governor State, they have to try and give space. They can't try and fight into this knowing the damage and the overwhelming healing. No one is dying on that dance floor except for Gremlin, and that might be a dead push, especially if Zinner falls here. And yep, there he goes. All right, that's gonna be the end of Governor State's push there. Aviators, they have managed to dig their heels in, at least for the time being. Your Governor State, do you make any swaps here, or you just try and continue to throw yourself at this brick wall until you can finally knock a brick loose?
Yeah, I think Zinner pushed up a little too far. This was an easy reset. I'm not mad about anything that just happened. You chase out Thunder's ult, and then everybody goes home. Zinner didn't get the memo, unfortunately. So from here, like, I don't think there's anything wrong with what's going on. Just do it again when they don't have Thunder's ult. Problem is, Thunder's 50% of the way there, and E-Rock already is taking down Zinner just like that with the Psionic Scream. Things got to jump on back and does get taken down. So with Zinner falling down, but Bookerbot on the other side, that weak front line means that Governor State going to push on in. Darry goes ahead and uses the Psionic Seduction as well. Z-Duel and Thunder both eat it. 4 players up. But Governor State also getting punched. It's a 3-on-4, and Governor State do not have the numbers.
It's a war of attrition. See who wins this one out, but Aviators do not only have the numbers, but they also have the spawn advantage. So this push from Governor State, despite the heavy investment, not going to amount to enough. You have managed to at least bleed the ult bank of Aviators dry for the time being, but you don't really have that win condition ultimate. I think, like, you're looking at maybe Jordan to try and go for a copy, open up with an Eternal Bomb. But then what? You hit a big Strangling Prison, maybe try and couple that with a Goddess of Death. I think that might be their win condition there. There's the Strangling Prison, but
too late.
Of course, Fate of both worlds.
Oh, too late. Thunder got it just in the last moment. Goddess of Death finds one on the outside. Poor positioning. LOL. First Chaos also falls down. Spawn advantage goes to Pego-Wango, so Gremlin's got to make a big play here. Lands on the frontline tank. Not who you want to land on with the Kraken impact. No reset available. And the Psionic Seduction coming out from the other side. E-Rock already brought down to 10% HP and toasted. Zinner also down, but Z-Duel with the res. The heals coming out. And this could be a moment for Aviators to really stick their heels in one more time. And Governor State are going to peel out the blue carpet. Spider-Man on the Cloak and Dagger brings out an ult of her own. And here comes Darry. This is the moment for Governor State. 3 players shoved on inside. 2 of the healers controlled. 1 taken down. The other makes it out clean. Could be a point of concern. But all 6 members for GSU are alive and welcome. Looking at E-Rock. He's good. Gremlin's not.
I mean, that Strangling Prison coming out from the first Chaos. Thunder down as well. Aviators, they might be running out of steam here. It's been a good hold so far, but the KOs are starting to come out in favor of Governor State. Squirrel Tsunami gonna come out from Pego-Wango. Is it gonna find anything, or at the very least, force a potential C9? It finds 2. Those are 2 absolutely massive kills. You got 1 onto the tank. You got another onto that Cloak and Dagger. You might have just done it. It's such smart play that comes out from Aviators, but they dig their feet in the sand. They do not let Governor State pass, and they take us 1-1.
All right, USI taking this one, and emphatically so. I liked the adaptation coming out from both squads. Aviators, they were playing the Iron Man, and, well, all of a sudden, it gets answered, and so the response comes back, and GSU is just able to maintain control once those adaptations come on through. So, Z-Duel was the issue. Everybody took notes. They figured it out.
I do also like a lot of the adaptations that came out from the side of Aviators. Z-Duel, like you said, was the problem on the Iron Man. Swaps over to the Atom Warlock. Now you're in this defensive posture where not only do you have the spawn advantage, but you also have the constant reses coming out from the Warlock. You've got all the advantages because now you're on that triple strategist composition, so you still have both the Fate of both worlds and the Eternal Bond. You swap over to the Groot. You've got every defensive utility you could possibly want, and you just simply do not let them come through that choke. You even see the swap onto the Squirrel Girl. And by the way, Pego-Wango is another unsung hero for the side of Aviators, was going blow for blow on that Bucky with Gremlin, but that Squirrel Girl swap and getting those Squirrel Tsunamis like candy, one after the other, and those 2 KOs that come through in OT there are what seal the deal in a pretty little envelope for Aviators.
Yeah, understanding the geometry and how to play those maps, really, really important stuff. You know, like we said, we saw the difference in the draft initially in the adaptation with the heroes, but then turning around and looking at the map specifically for that Squirrel Girl in those sort of sections. So a great look so far. But yeah, we're split down the middle. GSU and USI didn't really get the chance to see the entirety of map number 1 there, CB. But you know, taking a look at what we've got so far, what's your vibes? Do you think we've got a 50-50 matchup, or do you think that we've got one team that's stronger than the other?
It's kind of hard to say because right now I'm looking at the stat line because we do have a screenshot coming out from that. There's one number here in particular that I wanna throw out for you,
Shoot.
and that's 45,000. That is the damage from Gremlin on the team that took the L on that map there. So to me, this kind of feels like, you know, just a failure to execute on that last little bit from the side of GSU. I think they still might be the stronger team, but they might be underestimating Aviators because this is a scrappy team that I think has the potential to continue to draw blood on GSU if they are not careful. We're going to throw to a quick break, and we will see when we come back where the next little pound of flesh may be taken.
What an awesome day for a pump, dude.
Yeah, I gotta take it easy. Doc says if I exert myself, I will die.
You overexert yourself, you will die.
I'll tell you what, you finish the workout, all these could be yours. That looks good. A little bit of honey ham for the ham. Get after it, and that's your, nope, get after it, and that's your treat. Do the exercise, do the work, then you get the reward. That's how this works, man. You gotta give it max effort, maximum effort. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Big hams. Make it work, those hams. Work 'em. Putting in the work. Yeah, baby. Yes. This is a spicy workout. Gotta make it worth it. Building the beef and bringing home the bacon, baby. I'm loving it. Teriyaki is just about within your reach. Come on, get you some. Come on. Ooh, ooh. Maximum effort. Maximum effort. You're there. You're almost there.
That's so worth it.
What do you make of this up here? Just showed up in the yard a couple days ago.
Dog been digging in here?
I don't think so, dude. That goes way down in there. Seriously, did you just lose your meat stick?
Yeah.
Oh, no. There's something in there, dude. Just leave it.
Are you kidding me?
We'll just head to the house. Just leave it.
The hell with that.
Oh, yeah, there's something in there.
Want one?
Thank you.
It was worth it.
Oh, man, this is incredible.
Oh, wow.
Huh?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. Hey, man, grab me a meat stick. I think I can reach it if I just a little more. Just let me go a little. I can't. Just a little more. I almost got it. Careful! Oh, God. No. Come on, just reach. Reach. Just grab my hand. I can't hold it. Grab my hand.
Give me the meat stick. This other hand's closer. The one with the stick is. Oh. What am I supposed to say?
It doesn't matter. He's dead. He ain't listening to you anyway.
I'm hungry.
No. Put it away. I can't put it. Oh, crap. Just reach in. You gotta pull pull it. Just grab it. Just take it out of his hand. You just. What do you mean you can't?
He won't let go.
What do you mean he won't let go? He's dead.
Help me. Get in there. Now just hold on.
Make him let go of it. No, I got you. Just go in for a hug. Go and get on in there. It's a bad loss. Yeah, hug him up. Just reach, hug him up.
He's breathing.
On the other side. Go.
I can't do it. Help!
Help me, Lord. Help me get over this loss.
I can't breathe.
Yeah, I can't breathe. I'm so upset. I can't breathe. Stop. You knock on wood so they go to heaven. It's like a lucky. Hey, get the stick.
Yeah.
Hey, do you the meat stick?
Yeah, I got it.
Hey, just hold tight for a second. They're moving the casket. Just hold tight.
Yeah, it's no worries. I got it.
Oh, what an awesome day for a pump, dude.
Yeah, I gotta take it easy. Doc says if I exert myself, I will die.
You overexert yourself, you will die.
I'll tell you what. You finish the workout, all these could be yours. That looks good. A little bit of honey ham for the ham. Get after it, and that's your nope. Get after it, and that's your treat. Do the exercise. Do the.
It's a first at 3, and we're split down the middle. USI, that's University of Southern Indiana. We call them the Aviators, and they're going head-to-head against Governor State University. I'm FDOT, that's CB, and like I said, we're split down the middle, 1-1. We were talking a little bit in between, though. This last one was fun to watch, and we've got a little bit to chew on.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of words are being chewed right now on the side of Governor State. I joke because, like, the performance that Gremlin put up, 44-10 with 45k damage, and you're still kind of on the losing team. We even had that 6k that came out from Gremlin. It really felt like he pulled out the golden shovel, but it wasn't enough to dig GSU out of the hole that Aviators put them in. This is not a team to be underestimated. And for two teams that, by the way, are just kind of looking to break out of the middle of the pack in their group, what does it say about the rest of the group that, like, the game is this close and this good?
I mean, a lot of these teams are strong, you know, when we come down to it. These are actually two of our newer esports programs, right? We have some players that are competing for their first time around, so got to look out for that. But at the end of the day, I think really that these players are all coming in relatively prepared in their own games. You see Gremlin and his squad protecting that selection over for him, and then some of the other strategies. Like, these teams might be newer to the world of competition, but I don't think that anybody's relatively new to their style of play. I mean, we've played 2 maps, but like after one map after getting a chance to really watch one map, I'm seeing Iraq be extremely aggressive looking for these duels. I'm seeing Z-Duel be a versatile player that can flex enough to win the game for his squad. So real fun stuff here as we see these teams kind of develop. And then, as we said, next week we're in playoffs, top 16 only. That's where you really get to make a name for yourself.
Yeah, like top 16, I think GSU still does have a devil's chance of making it if they can put this team to bed, but the more maps that Aviators take off of them, and God forbid they actually beat them, that chance might die here and now, and that would be, you know, quite the upset, I think, for GSU to come so close but falter at this particular hurdle up against a team that seems to be just kind of outsmarting you in some of these little ways. You mentioned Z-Duel's flexibility. You mentioned Aroc just catching a couple of stragglers out. I've even seen some really, really aggressive psionic seductions coming out from Aroc on that Emma Frost, but it's on that Hela from Zinner that's just a little bit out of the formation, or you'll have like one player just not inside of the strategist ult catching that immortality that just gets popped by someone from the side of Aviators. These little tiny mistakes are adding up. The ceiling is high for both of these teams, but they know what they are good at and they do it well. And one thing they do without fail every time, ban Captain America and Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man really annoys specific. I'm trying to figure out, Georgia State are the ones that continuously ban the Spider-Man, but...
And protect the Bucky, that's for Gremlin.
Yeah, so Gremlin, yeah, Spider-Man, I think people just don't want to play against him. Bucky, Gremlin, yeah, we got it. The Emma Protect is really important. That's where I was going to go. Because we mentioned before how we didn't really know these teams just yet. The fun part about Rivals is very quickly you start to understand your opponent's kind of mentality and play approach. If I'm looking at E-Rock, I want to get Emma out. Like, that's my thought process. And so GSU protecting it is smart.
Yeah, and they're also going to protect the Adam Warlock, which is another thing that Z-Duel did utilize, and that they have utilized a couple of times. We saw it on Birnin T'Challa, we saw it on Hall of Jalia. Wherever we're going now, we're going to continue to see that Adam Warlock just be a loaded revolver on the table that Z-Duel can reach for whenever he feels like we need to make a change. Maybe whatever we were trying wasn't working. Maybe they come out the gates with it. It has looked good for them pretty much, you know, completely consistently. And Stormband coming out from Governor State, they're still afraid from that from 2 maps ago. So, like, I feel like if you're Aviators seeing the bans coming out from the side of GSU, no matter what you ban here, the way the last 2 maps have gone, you've got to feel pretty good about yourself.
Agreed. You know, you've got the Adam Warlock, who has been such a thorn in the opponent's side. Governor State kind of came through and said, Governor State kind of came through and said that they do like the Flyers, and so with the Adam Warlock selection on the other side, they can freely ban the Storm because they're not going to play the Storm into that Adam Warlock after the performance that we saw from Z-Duel earlier in the day. So, biggest thing out of this draft, CB, Aviators nailed the Protect game. E-Rock gets the Emma. I think that is integral to this squad's success, and Z-Duel getting that Adam Warlock again. Z-Duel did well. I think the spotlight was on the Iron Man performance for sure, but Z-Duel, it's the threat of activation. We simply don't see any of the Flyers from Governor State because you've got Pango on the Punisher and Z-Duel on the Atom. It's just too threatening.
I kind of like the Flyers a little bit more on the attacking side anyway, so I don't mind Aviators kind of leaving that behind for now, but when they swap sides, I do kind of maybe expect to see that come out, and we'll see if Governor State decide to answer that. I'm really curious about Governor State's team composition right now, though, because I'm seeing a lot of things, but I don't see a lot of cohesion. I've got a Venom, a Mr. Fantastic, I've got a Rocket Raccoon, a Cloak and Dagger, and I've got an appointment with my therapist to work this all out.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you, I got a ticket to the Fight Club. This is a melee orient. Come at me. We are brawling in the middle of the street. And that's what we see. We see the entirety of the team, minus the strategists, up close and personal. Mr. Fantastic right here boxing, trying to find a little bit of room for Gremlin to get this close quarters combat online. No takedowns just yet, but just the space created from these brawlers. That's what GSU's looking for, and Aviators have walked into it.
Yeah, but if the strategy is we just brawl out in the streets, that does very much so favor Aviators because they have this triple strategist backline. They're going to be coming up on the Fate of Both Worlds and the Eternal Bond here imminently, so you're going to see the Sia come out from Jordan early on. That pick on the Pango Wango is what's going to open the door. Eternal Bond going to come out from Rosie, but that is just a little bit too late. Can they still turn the fight with it, though?
Governor State, they're the ones that have to turn things around. Blue side all looking good, but the carpet falls on down, and the Thing pops the ultimate after the fact. Great timing from Bruggerbrut. As soon as Rosie's ultimate falls, time to get aggressive. Aviators, they go ahead, pop the Thing ultimate, and then punish after the fact. So Governor State wants to brawl, but right into the ult, I don't know.
Yeah, and now you got Fate of Both Worlds as well. So, you're going to have to try and bust through that as well. And you only have, like, your own Eternal Bond to try and break through. You're going to get that kill there onto Burgerbutt. That is going to be absolutely massive. Brainiac now is going to come out and try and follow up on that. But there we go. There's the sauce.
That's the good stuff. And right there, yeah, that's a TikTok tech you can take home. He bounces off of the roof and just, you know, crazy style. Z-Duel finds the entirety of the team res, though. Big time Adam Warlock bonus. And now Aviator's going to fight directly into it with the big guns out for Pango Wango into the support ult, though. And so the strategist reigns supreme for now. Jordan's going to respawn, and Spider-Man taken out means that there's no healers available for Governor State. But it doesn't matter. Aviators fall down anyway? Yeah, Gremlin, he's 7'5".
Yeah, it's off the back of an absolutely ginormous Kraken impact. Great play from Aviators to go for that full team resurrection and then immediately pop the Fate of both worlds to get back into the fight. Also bolster that with Pengo Wango's final judgment, but it's just not enough. Like you said, Gremlin is 7 feet tall, and Aviators, their hands just ain't long enough to box with that when that Kraken impact comes crashing down and hits everybody, and there's no more strategist ults to save you.
They did what they were supposed to do. Aviators took out the strategists and still lost the fight. Governor State feeling good off the back of that one. And Booger Butt's going to start things off one more time. It worked out well for Aviators last time fighting off the Thing ult. This time, Booger Butt eats it. Great play there from Dari. Gremlin continuing to go on in. But here's the response. E-Rock with 3 other teammates around him pops the Psionic Seduction. And Zinner goes into Chungus mode. Not enough to stop it, though. Dari responds just like that. Popped up, popped down. 2, 1 for the Venom and 1 for Gremlin. And he takes 1 to go as well. Fantastic performance again by Gremlin. We got to say it. He's still 7 feet tall.
Something else we highlighted, by the way, was Aerok, who's like constantly trying to find players just a little bit out of position to punish with those Psionic Seductions. Thought he could catch Gremlin slipping, but ends up being the one overstepping this time around and gets caught up by Dari's Psionic Seduction, and that opens the door for Gremlin to come through with that Kraken impact. Booger Butt once again getting caught out, and the momentum for Governor State continues to snowball out of control.
Momentum. Great word. Booger Butt routinely just steps past the yellow line and gets taken out by a train every single time. All of this space created by Governor State, listen, Gremlin's killing it. I'm not taking anything away from the team, CB, but really it's just Booger Butt walking in the wrong spot.
Yeah, and every time it's into Gremlin's line of fire. The KOs just keep coming through. A KO there onto Z-Duel is going to be absolutely massive. I mean, Pengo Wango can trade that one out all you want, sure, fine. With your Adam Warlock gone, you don't have access to the res. You're going to see the Eternal Bond coming out early on from Mel, and Governor State are going to try and keep this pain train rolling.
Tough one here. Venom playing frontline. Very strange position for Venom to be playing, but doing it well. Can't complain if it all tastes good. Gremlin, again, coming into himself. This is why we protect the Bucky. The dance floor rolls out, and it's a stop sign from Thunder. Maybe a little too early, CB.
Yeah, and that's just trying to make up the deficit of losing Booger Butt early on. We really need to keep this thing on a leash because he keeps going in and getting caught. That is when Governor State have the opportunity to keep the momentum going just like this. Now the Fate of both worlds is down, another Brainiac bounce, and just look at all of this damage.
Blue carpet comes out. We're all fighting on Rosie's ultimate. Gremlin still feeling good, but his teammates not so much. Pull onto Z-Duel, going to be off the mark. And there's the ultimate coming out from Dari, walking up front. E-Rock on the other side can't deal either. And so it's Governor State clearing out all the space in the world. Look out for these respawns. 3 reses coming out from Z-Duel, but Gremlin's still on patrol. 3 separate players. No, take it out. Thunder puts down Gremlin, and that could be a great stop here for the Aviators.
Finally, with the spawn advantages and the Z-Duel, Aviators are able to put a stop to the momentum of Governor State, at least temporarily, because we do have the Eternal Bond coming out from the other side, as well as the Venom with that ultimate in the back pocket, and you're only going to have the Goddess of Death going into this next fight. So maybe you're trying to look for an early pick onto a backliner here with this ultimate, but Pengo will have to try and move mountains. And also, again, we gotta keep Booger Butt on a leash, because if the thing goes in too deep and gets picked off again, you know Governor State are gonna turn the aggression right back to 10.
First Chaos was a big deal in our last couple of contests. This time, a nuisance on the enemy side. Doing well on this off tank compared to Booger Butt. But right now, Aviators kind of stuck. Need to find a moment. It's going to be hell. Pengo Wango goes up to the top, and 2 separate answers. Jordan, on the other side, pops that Rocket Raccoon ult to respond. And Pengo taken immediately off the sky. Thunder on the ground brings out the Fate of both worlds, and here's the answer from Chaos as well. Over the top comes Gremlin, lands on a couple of different players, but the healing is way too good. The Brainiac bounce on the back line follows the player inside. And look, Booger Butt finally feeling good, claims a takedown onto the healer, and Aviators get their first good exchange in what feels like forever.
Yeah, we've been dogging on Booger Butt pretty hard, but we also got to give our flowers because those two KOs that come through from the thing there. First one was on to Spider-Man Mel, and she was holding on to that Eternal Bond. That would have been enough to keep Governor State momentum in their favor. And then to follow that up with the pickoff there onto Jordan, that's just a dead push. There's nothing you can do. You're also looking at Z-Duel once again coming up that res, so this is going to be a long fight that Aviators could potentially win if they're able to catch Governor State off guard.
Mel does have that ultimate. It's going to be a big deal, and basically the entire focal point. E-Rock's going to be looking directly at her. Right now, here comes the Meteor M, slams on down, fantastic control, but now Mel rolls out the carpet, and this is a problem. Everybody's going to look at the Cloak and Dagger, but the damage already done on the other side. Zinner, Dari, and Mel wind up getting some kills, but Z-Duel reses everybody. Secondary initiation. That's going to come out from the first Chaos. Already brought down to 10% HP. The damage from the other side, way too much to deal with. Aviators only have 2 players up. Both of them fall. First round done, son. 3 total points.
I mean, I got really worried there for a second from Aviators because Z-Duel was the first to fall and was holding on to that Resurrect. I was worried that they wouldn't get that off at all, but they do. But the problem was that was their 1-2 or that was supposed to be a 1-2 punch. The 2 never came. Governor State had more in the back pocket to keep this one going. They had the Cosmic Yarn Amplifier coming up. They were able to keep the momentum going, continue to find the KOs and stagger it all the way through. And even with that Resurrect, you had Aerok just kind of this one lonely survivor on the cart trying to stall it out and stop the progress from coming through, because even with the res, I don't think there would have been an opportunity to get back on and recontest if not for Aerok there. But that just means you go into the next fight already down a man, despite using every single resource, and you can't make the fight last long enough to get the other strategists up on the field, and Governor State just keep it going with brute force. I said I didn't understand this composition, but like you said, it's just about brawling in the streets. I get it, all right? This is a Street Fighter comp.
Welcome to New York, bro. Welcome to New York.
Welcome to New York.
That's how we're doing it, okay?
We'll
That's
stop
how
by
we're
for a
doing it.
halal cart, and then we just go for a fight in the streets.
Girl, you are... Oh, man, that got real. I immediately... Yes, I would like a combo platter, extra hot, extra white, side of green. Please and thank you. But red light...
halal carts down here in Philly, too. Like, I know ball, all right? I'm all about that chicken and lamb over rice.
I'm hungry now, but... Turning point here. Governor State University feeling good about that push. Z-Duel, okay. On the Wolverine for the first time. And as we jump into this one, you know, that I want to be mean to E-Rock because I have kind of been caping for them the entire time. That Meteor M, that whiff, could have changed things. Back on the Emma, though. Love the play on the Emma, so we'll see how it works out here.
Speaking of changing things, though, have a look at Pengo Wengo over on the Squirrel Girl. Already 44% up to that Squirrel Tsunami. If you want to fight in the streets, Pengo says, okay, just funnel right down these narrow alleyways, and I'm just going to keep pelting you with these explosive nuts. Z-Duel over here on the Wolverine with a big abduction there onto Zinner. And Aviators, I mean, they also came to fight.
Don't forget that Mr. Fantastic, yes, he is classified as a duelist. I know, don't care. That is a swingman character. You see them playing 3 tank, essentially. Bring out the Wolverine. This is what prevents that from being powerful. Emma, of course, prevents herself from being kidnapped, so Z-Duel's got his work cut out for him, but immediately works out well on the front side. Has the support from Pengo Wengo on the back side. And, well, we're almost to the mid side. Halfway through point 1.
In Governor State, they have to try and deal with this somehow. You know, first Chaos going to swap over onto the Penny Parker, maybe just try and deal with that Wolverine by keeping everybody inside this little spider web with all the mines there, maybe shut him down, but nope, you can't shut him down.
Z-Duel grabs one, but no follow-up. So the Penny Parker, still safe and sound. I'm going to be looking at that Penny Parker a lot. She'll be tossed around. 2 players fall in blue, but an answer back means it's a 4-on-4 at the moment. The cart directly in front of the point, and Rocky Raccoon, great answer here. Jordan brings out the big guns, and they're going to send out Zinner. Brainiac bounce to the back line, but the dance floor answers, and so the strategist ultimates maintain control. Aviators look good, and then Pengo Wengo pushes them over the point. 2 takedowns to the Squirrel Girl with the use of the Tsunami, and here comes Spider-Man Mel rolling out a carpet of her own.
Yeah, it's going to be enough to keep Governor State alive for now, but they're already down 2 soldiers, and that cart is inching closer, 0.07 meters away. They can't afford to get off the cart, and there's going to be 2 more big KOs that come through. Zinner is going to be the next one, and the last to fall there for point A. I like what both teams are doing. They're playing really heavily into the team up. So you got the fastball special from Booger Butt and Z-Duel, and then you've got the Rocket Raccoon and the Penny Parker, all the deployables and the spider webs and the mines that come through. The problem is Pengo Wengo on that Squirrel Girl. She is fantastic at finding the angles to deal with all these deployables and break them down. And also, again, phenomenal at breaking the brawl composition that Governor State wanted to play. So you can see they're trying to make adjustments now. First Chaos off the Penny, now mirroring that Squirrel Girl. Zinner also getting his boots off the ground, taken to the sky, back over onto the Ultron.
Okay, so we're going with a single frontline character here. Governor State only have 1 Vanguard for the ride. E-Rock just shoves everybody into a locker with the ultimate. Psionic Seduction puts everybody in the corner. The entirety of point 2 basically taken here from Aviators off of the single ultimate. Stop that thought. Here comes the Kraken impact over the top side, but again, Rosie rolls out the carpet, and then we stop again. Answer back from the rocket means that it's going to see red team fight into it. Squirrel Tsunami rolls on out, creates the space needed. 3, 4 takedowns on the side of Governor State University, and so the Aviators get active. Pengo Wengo, certainly one of the biggest contributors to this victory condition at the moment. Point 2 done and dusted. We move on to the tertiary.
That Squirrel Girl is still paying dividends for Aviators, and it's not quite working out for Governor State University. By the way, Squirrel Tsunami is coming out from both sides in that little pit area. That's like being stuck in the ball pit at Chuck E. Cheese, but all of the balls are trying to kill you. That is a nightmare situation I never want to find myself in again.
That's just
but it was,
Warped Tour.
It's squirrels, so it's cute. But First Chaos has had enough of it, going to make the swap over onto the Hela, and I don't really know if I agree with it. Maybe just trying to catch Pengo Wengo out on some of these angles that he's trying to take, but it's Z-Duel on the flanks that you really got to worry about, and Hela is very vulnerable to Logan right now.
Yeah, Hela's just trying to click heads. That's what this pick is about. Just try to find these takedowns because they need to show up. Booger Butt again testing the length of his leash all the way off the point, but this time working out in his favor. We will fight one more time on Mel's Super. Kind of much ado about nothing. A little bit of ultimate action on the backside, and now we get to fight as the cart starts walking up to where Aviators want to fight on. Blue team pushing up and pushing down. 3, make it 4 for Z-Duel. That is how you Wolverine. Might have just won the whole point.
Remember when I said Wolverine is one of the strongest characters, if not the strongest hero in the game right now? Z-Duel being the first one to reach for that, and it pays off. 237 on the time bank. Aviators look so good right now. We talk about Governor State's composition just being brute force. They want to take fights. They want to brawl in the streets. Well, Aviators stood 10 toes down, squared up, and even broke through Governor State's defense, and there was nothing that Governor State could ever do. The momentum just never seemed to fall out of their favor. And now as we go to extra innings, with essentially no time in the bank for Governor State to try and set their win condition, I gotta ask, like, do you make any sort of adaptations? Because we talked about the flexibility of Aviators. We haven't talked about the flexibility of Governor State, and right now it feels like it's lacking.
That's exactly where I was going to go, girl. The lack of flexibility here, the lack of adaptation, the lack of esports. You gotta match what Aviators are doing. Right now, Z-Duel and Pengo Wengo are unchecked. Period. End of story. Booger Butt is actively misplaying. Thunder has had some questionable ultimates, and it doesn't matter because Z-Duel and Pengo Wengo are just that good. Governor State, they've got to find a response. Thing is a great response. Obviously immune to the kidnap himself. Can also shut down some of the movement abilities. I like this choice. How are you dealing with the Squirrel Girl? No active decision-making here from GSU. Has to be about execution at this point.
Yeah, they tried to mirror the Squirrel Girl for a while and it didn't work out, so now First Chaos is going to swap over onto the Thing, but you're going in with against a Logan that has the fastball special, and you can see that in action. You can also see all the pocket coming through to protect Z-Duel, who nearly got that KO there onto Darian. Now has the ability to go right back in.
The fact that Z-Duel didn't pop the passive in that first exchange was really big. Love to the strategists in the back line. Aviators here
Trust in your
again.
team, knowing that you can go for that. Find the res beacon there also. That's going to be another problematic happening for Governor State, and so is this Swirl Tsunami once again. Like, they've barely even gotten out of the gates here.
Pango Wango from above, uncontested, free casting, nobody at all looking in this direction. Gremlin doing work on the bottom side and getting it done. Couple of takedowns, Z-Duel and E-Rock both eat it, and, well, Booger Butt doing that. Either way, whether he falls down or not, the space created here, exclusive, brought to you by Gremlin. Great stuff, man. That's exactly why you protect that Bucky. All of this push is from that.
Yeah, Gremlin, I mean, we talked a lot about him last map, but he's been quiet this time around. As done being quiet, a violent outburst coming through with all of those KOs, and that hook there towards the end onto Mel, onto Rosie. Cosmic Yarn Amplifier gonna come through. Early KO there onto Z-Duel. That's absolutely massive.
Thunder's gonna pop the super as well, and so with that, should be a easy fight here. A-Rock wants to say something on the other side. Aviators trying to fight into this one, and our strategists will go ahead and trade Eternal Bonds. Red team just barely in front, 1 meter away, so anybody stepping off the cart could be a big deal. That displacement from Z-Duel going to be paramount. 4 jerseys all in the cart. Blue team, though, they're the ones that wind up getting the victory. Booger Butt and E-Rock wind up finding it. Gremlin still alive. Very much anyone's game here. 3-on-3 on the point. Jordan with the ultimate can pop through with the Loki.
They still have Zinner there with the heals, though. They haven't been able to get rid of this Rocket Raccoon, so you can see both of the Vanguards from Governor State are still alive. But the respawns coming through for the side of Aviators, and now Zinner's been dispatched. There's no more heals, no more lifelines.
Loki goes into the Rocket Raccoon out of pure desperation. Can't make it happen. E-Rock alone on the cart with the other Vanguard, and it's Vanguards versus everyone else. And it looks like everyone else winds up winning. First Chaos gets 2, Gremlin gets 1, and Dari the to-go box as well. Overtime doesn't reset since we're here in overtime.
Yeah, we are in overtime. If Governor State get off of this car for even a fraction of a second, they're done. Their push dies. But the fact that they're able to cap point A is absolutely massive. And they're going to have a lot of ults coming into this next fight. They could potentially keep the wind underneath their sails and keep the momentum going forward. They're going to have the Cosmic Yarn Amplifier. Gremlin is going to be coming up on another Kraken Impact eventually. And you can kind of see the strategist ults on the side of Governor State are lagging behind.
Dari just screams at everybody and winds up grabbing 3. Pango, Thunder, and Booger Butt all fall down. Dari gets credit for 2 of them. Fantastic push by Aviators. Z-Duel brought out the Moon Knight to get some cheese ultimate going on, but the fight didn't last long enough for that to even happen.
And now that should be point B. Swirl Tsunami gonna come out, though, from the side of Aviators, but it's not gonna be enough to stop them. Gremlin just keeps this one going. You're gonna see the Psionic Seduction come out. All the ults coming out from the side of Aviators, and this has to be enough for what they're spending to try and dispatch them from the cart. They have to win this fight.
Have to, but Z-Duel, on the other hand, just falls down. Gremlin looking good again. Booger Butt with an important takedown, making sure to curtail that Kraken Impact. After the fact, Rosie's going to go ahead and extend the ultimate, extend the team fight. The answer from the other side not available. Jordan falls down, Mel popped the ultimate, and here we are, and once more dancing on the purple floor. The fate of both worlds answers from Governor State. That's going to be the longest lasting strategist. Oh, so if the fight continues, everything in Governor State's favor, because Rocky Raccoon all the way off the cart. Aviators still somehow wind up finding Cloak and Dagger on the backside.
Gremlin is back in the fight, finds the KO there onto Pango Wango, and this might be enough, especially with Airrock down as well. Cosmic Yarn Amplifier gonna come out. That is the duplicated one from Jordan, so they're gonna have another one in their back pocket, but that's 2 offensive strategist ults. They're going to need to try and build up to something defensive here for this next fight, now that they've used the God of Mischief to try and brute force that. But again, with only a minute in the time bank, any cart progress they can get from here on out is just gravy, and that is a cherry on top. That KO onto Thunder, that is a high value KO onto the Luna Snow. Aviators have to try and take this fight now without one of their most valuable assets.
Exceeding the expectations of probably everybody off of 0-0 on the clock, now making these moves. Clobbering time opens up but doesn't wind up converting. It's a 1-for-1, and now Gremlin's going on the road. A couple of agains, but then gets rooted, scooted, shoved back, healed up, not taken down, but the ultimate stopped.
There's no one stopping Gremlin from taking those pot shots with backline. Psionic Seduction finally going to silence him, but he's not dealt with yet. Still alive. Spider-Man Mel gonna pop that Eternal Bond to try and keep the momentum up. And once again, Aviators are struggling to pry Governor State off of this cart. Eternal Bond gonna come out from their side. They have to try and make something out of this. They're coming up on a lot more ultimates. It is now or never.
Aviators will have Jordan's ultimate available if Loki wants to make the play. Lanterns come out, the squirrels are here, but shot down. Great job there, Gremlin and team. Governor State still positioned, trying to take the players off of the cart. Jordan hanging on to the ultimate, not using it just yet, waiting for the perfect moment. And here it is. Go ahead and swaps into it. Gremlin also pops Kraken Impact and looking for the back line. Knocked up by Booger Butt and pushed on back. But here comes help from Zinner. Loki goes into the support ult as well. So the Stratus is working on the backside. But Gremlin just doing what he was born to do. 2 takedowns in front, 2 takedowns in back, CB. And this might not be the whole map, but it certainly puts us in the final fight.
One Gremlin was hard enough to deal with, but Jordan also duping the Winter Soldier, and you got 2 Kraken Impacts coming out, and it's just too much. Aviators, they're back, broken. Governor State nearly all the way there. Clobber in time gonna come out. They're trying to brute force this the rest of the way, but first Chaos on Death's Door, not going to be walking through it today. Gremlin is the keeper of the underworld right now, sending the entirety of Aviators to it. There's another Kraken Impact on the cart to try and clean this one up. Psionic Seduction to keep away, and with only a minute, Governor State full cap on Midtown.
Including which side?
Blown away. Straight up and down, blown away, making it the entirety of this. And it wasn't even like sometimes when you see the 6.1 minute, it's because you win 2 fights in the early game, and then all of a sudden you get the first point for free, the second one's hard to, I know, I've seen it. This was not that, CB. This was war of attrition.
Look at Gremlin's damage right now. 66,000, 68, and 11. That is an absolutely insane KD. Whenever it feels like Governor State is out, again, Gremlin just comes out with that golden shovel and tries so hard to dig them out of whatever hole they are in. And this time, it paid off, and they may have just buried Aviators under a mountain that they cannot climb.
I'm going to high five. I'm going to fusion dance here. You bring Gremlin, I bring Dari. Dari, the frontline vanguard with 25 or 26 takedowns to their name, last hits. Fantastic work out of Dari. This player has been almost, honestly, the difference between Dari and Iraq has been the difference between aggression and over-aggression. Both of our Emma players have been playing lights out. Dari very rarely is punished for stepping too far out of bounds, but he's always on the edge, and I like that play.
There's also a lot of situations where you see the Psionic Seduction will come out from Dari to try and set up Gremlin for that Kraken Impact. If they have that wombo combo, it feels like there's nothing Aviators can do. That is not the target you want to be shooting there, Pango Wango. There you go. Now the cart's out of the way, we can really get to the action here.
Biggest deal about the culling turret, of course. Pango Wango, 37% towards ult. That's the biggest deal with the turret. How much you just farm ult charge. So yeah, Pango Wango on the backside, making that one happen. 3 minutes and change on the clock, which is all the time in the world. This is a lot of time. But they've got to go the entirety of the map. Could be tough. Gremlin already getting active, popping the Kraken Impact, and won't really have a good target for it.
The first limb, though, going to come through. Aviators able to break through that hold. That pick there onto the Punisher is, again, same as a squirrel roll, just trying to brute force with that turret and force the entirety of Governor State back. It does work. Cosmic Yell and Amplifier are going to come out from Zinner. That is going to try and be them trying to dig their heels in the sand and keep this fight going. It looks like they've done just that. Aviators yet to spend to try and respond, but once they have to,
Derry, half HP, brought down even lower. I got scared thinking I castered, cursed him. But you set it up, and thank you, Aviators, for showing us that CB knows what she's talking about. Derry sets up Gremlin. Psionic Seduction into the Kraken Impact. You have no chance to survive. Make your time.
Yeah, and like, Aviators had a bunch of ultimates that they could have potentially popped there, but I don't know if they got silenced entirely by the Psionic Seduction, or if they were just late to the party and decided they wanted to go in and all in on this next fight. But either way, that is what they have to try and do from here on out. But Spider-Man Mel, opening with the Eternal Bond is going to make it so difficult. This final judgment from Pango Wango gets nothing, and he gets sent packing by Gremlin.
Mel, fantastic job. Just completely neuters Pango Wango's entire game plan. That said, the secondary fight winds up being in Governor State University's favor. Frontline falls down, Gremlin eats it as well, and a strategist on the backside means that Governor State University earn this corner, make the turn, and I think we might just get to point 2 with how quickly Aviators fell down. Maybe a little bit of a mini engagement here. If I'm Aviators, I do force this fight before they get point 2.
Also, I think our graphic is flipped again, because that is definitely Governor State on the red side there. They're going to have to be the ones to try and take this fight, and they don't really have to, because again, they got that full cap, so they can just give this one up for free and then take the next fight on their terms through this choke point, where they should have access to some of these high grounds as we start to go through Grand Central Station here, especially with no ultimates on the field, except for that Kraken Impact from Gremlin, who could just opt to use it completely dry, not even needing a combination from Derry. But if you wait for that Psionic Seduction to come up, that is, I mean, almost another guaranteed fight win.
Gremlin goes up one more time, lands on the duelists. Finally a good target, but the wiggles are good. Punisher gets on out of there. Cosmic Yard Amplifier on the backside means that Gremlin doesn't have to back off. Good knock up on the strategist. Arm shot is strong, and Derry off of the other side winds up bringing it home. Pengo and E-Rock answer though, and the Aviators trying to continue their push. Pango Wango does have the ultimate available. Could be a moment for the Punisher as Rosie unveils the blue carpet. And Governor State University don't have the Punisher as the elimination puts him in grayscale for a little bit. Rough.
Oh, what a hook! Oh, what an insane hook that comes out. You can't quite find the KO from it, but that nearly was the entire map one right there. Everybody getting caught out as a result. I think trying to save the player that got hooked there, but now the Kraken Impact coming through.
That could be game. Punisher on the backside brings out the big guns, and the fact that he took down Gremlin could be the difference maker. Pango Wango still alive, just barreling damage into the front line. Finally off of the ultimate, and First Chaos is the target, but here comes Thunder 33 with a dance floor of her own. Aviators trying to push on forward into Governor State University, but E-Rock has the Psionic Scream as well, and that's going to create all the space Aviators need here to make it around this corner. Not enough to confirm the point just yet, CB, but enough to win this mini engagement and make it on past here.
We're able to take down First Chaos, gonna get res with the BRB. Psionic Seduction to come up from Dario, but there is no 1-2 punch.
E-Rock.
There is no Kraken Impact, but Gremlin doesn't even need it. Like you said, E-Rock gets so low that it's also gonna get resed up. First Chaos, though, will not get again, and neither will E-Rock for that matter, because Gremlin is still on a tear.
Looking at that front line, exactly where Gremlin wants to be at, but Rosie shows up, got a blue carpet of her own. Gremlin has the Kraken ultimate available. Wants to get out of the support nonsense. Low and just gone. Governor State University trying to play defense, but Aviators should push, yeah.
It's still a war of attrition. Whose supply chain is going to be able to hold up to keep this one going? That's going to be the Cosmic Yard Amplifier and the Final Judgment, and that is going to be, yeah, if you're Governor State, you just have to get out of dodge. That is too much damage. Everyone else just trying to let themselves fall on the cart so they don't get staggered out too egregiously. Gremlin and First Chaos should be able to get out alive and at least mount something of a forward presence, and look at Aviators' ult bank right now. Completely dry. They got all the KOs they needed off of that combination, but they're only going to have the fate of both worlds. 84%. There's a real narrow window for Gremlin to make a play. Aviators, your win condition is you have to slam that window shut. You have to make this fight last, and you have to try and find some of these stagger pickoffs. But not only direct impact coming out, it's also going to be bolstered with a Eternal Bond and a Cosmic Yarn Amplifier. What do you even do about the mountain that you have been asked to climb here?
Plus, thing's going to have a little bit of tricks of his own, so first Chaos should be able to set up for Gremlin. First Chaos pulls it, and there's the follow-up. Zinner grabs one, Chaos claims one off of his own ultimate, and Gremlin goes up, looking for a reset here, doesn't even need it. Problem is, other side, Aviators pop stuff, Thunder has the dance floor underneath her feet. Rosie's not here, so 4 players alive to play the dancing, and it's going to be Zinner actually finding some of the takedowns on the other side. That's the DPS player on the strategist, and the red team looking good because of it.
We have Eternal Bond coming out from Mel just to try and make it all the more difficult. Rosie is so far away from hers, 90%. It doesn't seem like that much, but it is an eternity, and they do not have any time left, do Aviators. Governor State, off the miracle push, nearly send us to another round of extra innings, but it is not to be. They say nay. We are taking this one back into our terms. We are going up 2-1. What a map this was, going the distance both ways, going to extra innings, 5-6 scoreline, and Gremlin again coming out with an insane stat line, insane amount of damage, insane plays set up by the rest of the team. You talk about Derry. I also want to talk about Zinner with those Cosmic Yard amplifiers on the Rocket Raccoon. Everything feels like it is set up to just put the ball on a tee so Gremlin can knock it out of the park. And with 88k damage, Homie is hitting home runs left and right.
Yeah. You know, I'm gonna go slam dunk because I need to give flowers to the alley-oop coming from the Vanguards. Listen, I got love for my frontliners, okay? And Dari is out here playing Emma the way she was born to be played. She's a star. She's aggressive. She punishes you for stepping too far out of your territory. Great stuff, and Dari's doing exactly that. So, Gremlin. The fun thing about Marvel Rivals is that I think there are multiple approaches, and everybody likes to kind of be the Coach Carter type person. You know, it's just like, well, you know, it's a team game. Everybody's got to play together, and nobody's special. No, Gremlin's special on this team. They protect the Bucky, and they play around it, and it wins games, and I like that. It's fun.
It wins games even when it feels like they, I don't want to say that they are outmatched, but they are being kind of outwitted by Aviators because we talk a lot about their flexibility and the changes and the adaptations that Aviators are making. How does it feel, though, when you're a team that it feels like you're playing like 5D chess, you're running circles around the enemy team, and they just flip the board on you and somehow still win? And, and then they do it again, and again, and again, and then gets a 6K because the Kraken Impact. Yeah, it was a Bucky reference. Yeah, I gotcha.
The funny part is, I mean, yeah, straight up and down, I think if we just played like TDM over and over again, I honestly think Z-Duel Squad might wind up with the victory. Like, straight up and down, I'm seeing good brawl from the other side of the field. USI knows what they're doing, but Governor State wind up coming through and winning with the intelligence factor, like the X's and O's. They're executing off of each other's plays. That's what I'm seeing. They seem like a more cohesive team to me.
Yeah, and a lot of, I guess speaking of executions, a lot of the times it's Boogerbutt who's on the chopping block. We're seeing the thing overextending. We want to give love to the Vanguards, and Boogerbutt did also have a ton of phenomenal plays, a lot of times setting it up for that alley-oop for Pango Wango or for Z-Duel, but also, getting caught out a lot of the times, trying to make those plays happen, trying to set up. 33 and 22 isn't a terrible KD for a match that goes that long, but that's still 22 deaths, and a lot of those fights were lost because you lost one of your, a key member of your front line early on. It was an excellent pick to have the thing come out alongside that Wolverine. We saw Z-Duel making magic happen with that Wolverine, but once they left Logan back at the door, they stuck to it, and you just kept seeing Boogerbutt getting caught out over and over again. I would have liked to maybe see an adaptation come out from the side of Aviators, maybe swap that over to a Magneto, play the Magneto in the Emma Frost, maybe try and swap to, I don't know, just something with a little bit more staying power and a little bit less it.
Immediate agree. 100% agree. Even when it was working out with the Wolverine, we were seeing some of the same issues out of Boogerbutt, which is kind of just going too far off leash, right? It breaks the chain every single time. I think if I'm coaching on the squad, if I'm playing on the squad, yeah, just get a character that's a little bit like closer to the team. Make sure just do less of that, and it works out. Because when you're closer, it looks good. Just getting taken down too many times, going way too far out there, man.
Yeah, sometimes less is more, and I think that's kind of the takeaway that Aviators need to have. But I do still see a lot of potential and a lot of prowess from this front line again, especially from the duelists. Z Duel, just insane with that Wolverine. I'm also curious as to why they swapped off to that to begin with. As we move over into our hero bands, we'll see if that's something that they decide to reach for yet again. I would like to see more of it because it absolutely paid off. I'm curious to see if maybe we'll see a little bit more Squirrel Girl. I love to see my girl Doreen coming out to play every now and then. Or to see the same bands we've seen the past 3 maps.
I mean, I wouldn't mind, like I said, I wouldn't mind banning the Emma. I think that both of these teams, Dari and Iraq, have kind of shown that the Emma is really, really powerful. If I specifically into Gremlin Squad, I'm banning that Emma, like, right away. I think that's the right choice. Instead, we're going to continue to ban out the dive. The other side of that is, of course, the Captain America and the Spider-Man on these individual teams might just be scarier, and we're not getting to see them because of that reason. So, Wolverine and Bucky protected, grass is green, water is wet. How you doing?
I mean, pretty good if this is what we're going to be seeing, because we're going to be seeing some more of Z-Duel's phenomenal Logan play. We're going to see a lot more of Gremlin just putting on a clinic on the Winter Soldier. I see no reason to change it up. I'm kind of surprised that neither team really wants to deviate from these kind of cookie-cutter bands that we've seen so far, though. Like, it feels really honest, to be honest. Like, they're not going for anything like, hey,
surprise,
you're really good at this, we want to take it off the field, no more Winter Soldier, like, we've had enough of you. Still just going back to that very not patriotic Captain America band, and then the Doctor Strange band as well, so no portals, especially on a map like Hell's Heaven, which is where we are going to be taking it to. Something that can be very useful in some of those OT pushes. That's another interesting play right there, though, is the protect onto the Storm.
Storm did well in our first map. We only got a couple of glances at it, but she wound up looking really strong in the first engagement, and so protecting that, certainly a look. Continuing to look for the Cloak and Dagger as well. I'm still yelling about Emma. I want to see her banned out. She enables so much of, honestly, what both of these teams want to do, but specifically what Governor State wants to do. Every time Bucky comes out, it's the Psionic Seduction first. That's where I'm looking. Instead, it's the Loki ban, which Loki is always, if you can play Loki, he's strong. So
I think with both the Loki and the Adam Warlock both off of the field, I think neither team really wants to dip back into that triple strategist composition. And like looking at Aviators right now, we're seeing Booger Butt back to his old tricks over on the Thing, and Cloak and Dagger, of course, that's been protected. Ultron, though, there we go. That is, again, the only other way that you could have possibly made me wrong after I say no triple strategist is going back over to the Ultron, but it's not going to be coupled with the Iron Man here, incidentally.
just a pure, there it is.
Yeah, it is actually. I lied. Aviators they just constantly, they've got like, they got a live feed tapped into me, and they're like, how can we make her look dumb?
Well, it's a fruitless endeavor. Nobody could ever make you look dumb. That's my take.
Well, Aviators are sure trying, coming out again. Triple strategist with the Iron Man. On a map like Hell's Heaven, especially this particular sub point, I do kind of like that. Zinner, though, we kind of have to talk about that. What do you make of Jeff in the current state of affairs, especially in organized play like this?
Well, when it comes down to it, again, I automatically look to the back line to, let's say, traditional strategist ult. One real hardcore traditional strat ult in the C&D. The Cosmic Yard Amplifier is kind of half and half. You can kill it, but it's still kind of a strat ult. And then Zinner, well, he doesn't. Zinner's the duelist player. Again, this is the idea of Ultron being your third strategist, kind of just a DPS guy. I think that's what we're going to see out of Jeff, where he's a strategist in the neutral, and then just using the ultimate to take care of business, because this is a great Jeff map. You can kill the whole team by moving 30 feet.
Speaking of taking care of business, look at the ult cards right now for both T-Duel and Tango. Those flyers, that Iron Man Ultron team up is getting a lot of work done, paying a lot of dividends. You've nearly got the Rage of Ultron already online, and that Pulse Cannon is not going to be all that far behind. but you gotta try and get Governor State off the point in order to flip, and Gremlin side is having none of that today.
This is a great moment for Pengo Wengo's ultimate, but Gremlin's just coming over the top, putting down the 3 players, and then a 4th with Thunder falling down to the wayside. Gremlin on a tear already, and the clock has barely started ticking. So, honestly, I was a little concerned for Gremlin's success rate with having 2 players in the sky, but Z-Duel somehow died in the Kraken Impact push, so my concerns were swayed. Real talk, Z-Duel just can't get hit by that, but he did, so.
Y'all being in the sky, you might be taller up there, but we're all the same height when we're 6 feet under. That's what Gremlin says. All right, takes them both down, and again, like, that's the Rage of Ultron already taken down, already off the field. Z-Duel has now built up to that pulse cannon. Like I said, that's going to be a huge tool to try and break through here. But speaking of tools, Governors, they got an entire Home Depot at their disposal.
Z-Duel looking for an ult of his own, has it available, and here's Jeff grabbing a whole bunch of different players. Maximum Pulse says no, and the Meteor M follows up for a 1-for-1 exchange. Zinner and Thunder both down. Now here comes Pengo Wengo blasting the point. P.S. it belongs to Governor State right now. Aviators trying to burst on in, but that Ultron ult just not doing anything there. Barely looked like an ultimate at all, and so has to be a full reset from Aviators. Wait, no, E-Rock instead goes back on in with the Psionic Seduction. Kinda gets nothing. Dari answers as well, and Thunder brings up the fate of both worlds to tip favors into Aviators.
Z-Duel gonna fall courtesy of Zinner, and I mean, you're looking at this Kraken Impact from Gremlin. It's a ticking time bomb, and it is about to go off now that the fate of both worlds has expired. Gets the reset off of Thunder despite the freeze, and another one there for Rosie. Say goodbye to your back line, say goodbye to your front line, say goodbye to this point, because that is gonna be enough to win them the fight. There's not gonna be another chance to contest after this. 95% and counting, and Pengo has decided to take a Vikings death.
Valhalla awaits. Keep in mind, this is a 1st to 3, so Governor State now on map point, match point, set point. You already know, baby, win one, and that's all she wrote. So Aviators looking up kind of heavily. You know, Thunder right there, that was the moment. Thunder had 5 separate Governor State University jerseys, like, ready to go. Or excuse me, Zinner. Zinner grabbed 5 different players, and then Z-Duel just, well, maximum pulsed him. Didn't even need to use the ult there. It's just kind of funny for it. But
the thing about that though is if you wanted to use that pulse cannon to try and shut down the Eternal Bond from Spider-Man Mel, but you never got the opportunity for that. You instead had to use it to shut down the Jeff ult. So even though like Zinner doesn't really get a lot for that ult, he kind of does, and it's enough to get Governor State University to map point, match point.
Great point. Yeah, honestly, huge point there. Z-Duel loses the duel, essentially. I mean...
He loses Z-Duel.
Yeah. Homie could have, like... My job here is not to dunk on these players, but... You're trying to aura farm with the ult, dude. Just right-click them. Very simple. Unibeam will kill that Jeff. Anyway, reset here, one more point. Governor State University playing for all the marbles here. And the area unlocking soon. Everybody present and accounted for. It's going to be Zinner and Jordan popping the ultimates on Governor State University's side. Zinner bringing everybody, waiting to party. By the way, controller player, shout out. The takedowns are good, and they're all red, baby. So Governor State, this is the one they need, and they're starting off strong.
Also a smart play from Zinner again on the Jeff ult. Realizes that the 2 players he grabbed were ones that could easily fly if he tried to spit them off over the map, so said, okay, I'm just gonna hold you hostage until the rest of your team is done. And once I spit you out here, my team is just going to dogpile you. You're never getting out of this one alive. And that's Governor State in the driver's seat with ults to spare. They use their strategist ults, but they still have the Eternal Bond. Aviator's going to have one of their own, as well as a lot of other ults, but they're going to have to spend to try and buy themselves into this point, and that is a price that Governor State are willing to pay. Chase
out Mel and let Pengo Wengo go in. That's the game plan. Whether or not it happens is a different story. 1-for-1 exchange. As one of our front lines fall down, that's Dari, and Pengo Wengo falls down to the other side. Not a huge deal, because Aviators can win the fight without her. And then Pengo Wango comes through with the Storm. Instead, it's going to be E-Rock starting things off. By the way, 50% done for red team. Z-Duel trying to change that. Zinner on the other side trying to provide the healing. And Will, Magneto still strong. 2 players on the other side falling down after Spider-Man Mel's ultimate goes to the wayside. Governor State relinquished control. And it's Aviators. Time to go.
Yeah, the pickoff there onto Pengo Wango with that Meteor M from First Chaos, it looks good, but that was not the KO that he needed. He really needed to get Rosie out of that Eternal Bond and shut that ultimate down. That is why you play the Magneto in the first place. And again, Pengo just gets rezzed up and Aviators are happy to take the fight on their terms. Now they've got this Storm, and they can make it a Jeff NATO.
This is just offensive. Essentially, you are spawn trapping, but a great response here, killing the Storm. Doesn't happen nearly enough. Just kill her. Great job here from Aviators finding that KO. And the push in from Gremlin is good one more time. Armed and Dangerous sets him up. Reset available. Lands on the back line. Couldn't find it at first. Finds the Rocket Raccoon, but Emma turns around. Great play by E-Rock to find that Gremlin and put him down, stopping the push. Still blue point.
52% and counting. Might actually be able to take the lead here if they can try and get maybe just one more pick off there, but the Cosmic Yarn Amplifier from Jordan should be online shortly, and there it is. That's going to be all of the aggression coming out from Governor State. They also have a Meteor M in their back pocket, so they can wait out this Eternal Bond.
Great psionic seduction, looking for the back line, putting in a precarious situation, able to be healed up, and Rosie follows up with the ultimate. Can't find the takedown is Chaos, and as a result, the carpet's still on down. Psionic seduction over the top side as well. Rosie's will fall, and there's no support ult available anymore. E-Rock in trouble, eats it. And as a result, Governor State, they find one, but they can't find the rest. Has to back off. Blue team almost confirming and sending us to a map 3.
Yeah, Pengo Wango gets hooked there, but able to take that one back. There is the It's Jeff coming out from Thunder, and, well, we still have a Jeff alive on the other side, but I don't think Zinner's going to have a whole lot to say about this fight. And yeah, just going to swim off to happier shores. Maybe we go to a third sub point here. Of course, a match like this has to try and go the distance as we head to the Super Soldier Factory. I keep talking about these Meteor M's from the first Chaos, and how the first one hit Pengo Wango and it looks great, but you really needed to take down Mel. Well, or sorry, you really needed to take down Rosie. Well, second time, he understands the assignment and he goes for Rosie, but just whiffs. He can't find the dunk on this Cloak and Dagger, and every single time you try to use that ult to shut it down and you whiff, it just means you threw your ult away. It's down the drain. You don't get any value out of it, and that's enough for Aviators to keep themselves in this fight. If First Chaos wants to try and bring this one home for the side of Governor State, he's got to hit the next one, because you don't get any more chances, and you can't rely on Gremlin to do all of the heavy lifting. Every now and then, you got to pitch in, and you got to hit the big shots. If you're Magneto, that is your assignment.
1 million. We saw Magneto hit it once, and it won the team fight. Just have to be consistent, and if you're not going to be, maybe even switch. Crazy, I know, but ultimately, stick to it. Just hit your shots next time, buddy. Problem is, this is a great map for Cloak and Daggers to go ahead, paint the point, and then back up around this curve, avoiding that Meteor M. So, work definitely cut out for First Chaos. Governor State, again, on map and match point. Win this one, and it's all over. Aviators win this. We go on to a game 5. But Gremlin has been on a tear, trying to make that not happen this entire time.
Before I find the kill there onto Airrock, able to get out alive, the support is there. Boogerbutt, though, going to get D-Hulked, and that's going to be enough for Governor State to get their foot in the door. Namor, ult's going to come out, drop Giganto right on top of Aviator's doorstep, or sorry, Governor State's doorstep, but they say, nah, return to sender, here comes Gremlin with another Kraken impact.
And the response is big. Rosie, marked but doesn't mind, pushes out with the ultimate. Blue carpet on the point. The dance floor from Jordan is going to be longer lasting as Governor State now ready to go. And here comes Dari over the top. Grabs a couple of separate players. The chomp is strong, and Jeff gonna jump on out. Thunder. Good enough. Takes out 4 separate players, and a fifth winds up falling after the fact. Gremlin by himself. And Aviators start this one off in their name.
It's worth pointing out that Zinner has decided to ditch the Jeff, and Thunder says, all right, bet, I'll take over the helm. Had the better plays on the previous map with the Jeff, and keeping that one up, once again, getting a big Jeff ultimate to try and close out that fight. And it's after Governor State spent so much, including the fate of both worlds. They have an eternal bond, but I mean, you're trying, like, that's not going to be enough to try and get you through the fight. You can start it on your terms, sure, but you have to try and find the limbs with it.
Defensive ultimate from E-Rock, and Boogerbutt goes nuts as well. Governor State trying desperately to break into the point that's 1/3 owned by their opponent. Big push from Red, now takes Boogerbutt out of the Hulk, and first Chaos on a Hulk of his own. Meteor M wasn't working out, just Hulk out, baby! And first Chaos now more on his style of off-tank. Let's see the result. Gremlin, all the space in the world to deal with the Rocket Raccoon, while the team on the other side deals with, well, everybody else. Gremlin is totally fine with that, punching, pushing, and punishing the front line. Governor State wrestle control of the point. It's theirs one more time.
But again, it costs them everything, and they're even making swaps to try and mirror what Aviators are doing. First Chaos making the swap over onto the Hulk, so we got Hulk and Emma Frost front lines on both sides. I mean, I like it as well, but you don't really have the tools to try and hold this right now. You're looking at another It's Jeff that might come out from the side of Thunder, and like, what do? I don't really see any way for Governor State to dodge that, except for, maybe, Spider-Man Mel, maybe just she hits the best Terror Cape of all time. Maybe just fades the entire team out of harm's way.
Hulk smash, first Chaos. The reason I liked... All right, buddy. Little too far that time.
Yeah, I don't like that Hulk smash, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, Aegis LOS's healers gotta not do that. And so immediately, Aviators wind up having the advantage since first Chaos just nowhere to be seen. Thunder's looking for somebody. Jeff's in the water, and he's going to grab a couple of different players. Chomp, 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 all the way to the other side. It doesn't get old. Burn the time, toss him down, 3 separate jerseys. Aviators again, feeling cute.
And something else I want to talk about is this 1-2 punch that's coming out from Aviators, because they've got the Namor ult that comes out from Pango Wengo, knocks everybody flat on their back, and they can't get away from the Jeff that comes through and just swallows them all up. So that is how that ultimate is able to get so much consistent value. It's, again, a 1-2 punch, a wombo combo, like the one we've seen over and over again from Darian Gremlin on the other side. Aviators have learned from their adversaries.
You're not wrong. I mean, just jump away, forehead. Yeah, there's a cripple when Giganto comes out. Great point there. How the Namor enables everything else. Cosmic Yard Amplifier starts us off one more time. Governor State looking desperately. They need this fight in order to end it. If not, we basically go to a map 5. A couple of takedowns. We'll do just that. Very casually, very carefully, and you keep bringing it up. Everything is used by Governor State consistently to try and win these fights. This time around, Mel and Gremlin still have one in the bucket.
Yeah, it was Burgerbutt getting caught out, and I don't know if the BRB from Z-Duel was up, or if Burgerbutt was just out of range for it, but either way, the res doesn't come through, and so Aviators have to concede space. So that's just one a limb, and they give up the point essentially for free, and that might be the last time they ever give up the point.
First, Chaos grabs a couple of players in the prison. Only one does fall, so it's a 5-on-6, but that still just might be good enough. 96 counting up to 100, and it's going to be Rosie versus the world. Boogerbutt goes nuts, and Thunder also looking for a couple of players to bite. Governor State spread out so they don't get Jeffed, but it doesn't matter. 2 for Jeff, 1 for E-Rock, 1 for Pango Wengo, and 5 for NECC viewers, because that is the map we're going to.
And Thunder is hands down the MVP of that one, and of course gave the assist to Pango Wengo, but that last It's Jeff that comes through, no assist was needed. We didn't see the Namor ult come out. That one was just raw, and it still gobbled up everything he needed. It wins them the map, and like you said, taking us to 5, and the way this series has gone, I wouldn't have it any other way.
Me neither. I mean, like, honestly, Thunder here, yeah. Jeff did it, MVP. It's Jeff. The aptly named ultimate, it's Jeff. And this really highlights one of my favorite parts of Rivals, if we could just take map specificity, you know? Like this Jeff works specifically on this map because of how close that gap is, as well as the last one. Not so much on the other ones. This is the first time we see Jeff come out. I'm very happy to see teams like this is the X's and O's. We talk about esports being brains and brawn. Yeah, coach earned the salary here, bringing out the brain book. But we're going to go ahead and take a brief break before map number 5. As we said, it's going all the way. We'll be right back after this.
Work, then you get the reward. That's how this works, man. You got to give it max effort, maximum effort. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Big hams. Make it work, those hams. Work 'em. Putting in the work. Yeah, baby. Yes. Dude, this is a spicy workout. Gotta make it worth it. Building the beef and bringing home the bacon, baby. I'm loving it. Teriyaki is just about within your reach. Come on, get you some. Come on. Ooh, ooh. Maximum effort. Maximum effort. You're there. You're almost there.
That's probably worth it.
What do you make of this up here? Just showed up in the yard a couple days ago.
Dog been digging in there?
I don't think so, dude. That goes way down in there. Seriously, did you just lose your meat stick?
Yeah.
Oh, no. There's something in there, dude. Just leave it.
Are you kidding me?
We'll just head to us. Just leave it.
The hell with that.
Oh, yeah, there's something in there. Ah!
Want one?
Thank you.
It was worth it.
Oh, man, this is incredible.
Wow.
Huh?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. Hey, man, grab me a meat stick. I think I can reach it if I just a little more. Just let me go a little. I can't. Just a little more. I almost got it. Careful! Oh, God. No. Come on, just reach. Reach. Just grab my hand. I can't hold. Grab my hand.
Give me the meat stick. This other hand's closer. The one with the stick is. Oh. What am I supposed to say?
It doesn't matter. He's dead. He ain't listening to you anyway.
I'm hungry.
No. Put it away. I can't put it. Oh, crap. Just reach in. You gotta pull it. Just grab it. Just take it out of his hand. What do you mean you can't?
He won't let go.
What do you mean he won't let go? He's dead.
Help me. Get in there. No, just hold on.
Make him let go of it. No, I got you covered. Just go in for a hug. Go and get on in there. It's a bad loss. Yeah, hug him up. Just reach. Hug him up.
He's breathing.
I think it's on the other side.
Go.
I can't do it. Help!
Help me, Lord. Help me get over this loss.
I can't breathe.
Hey, I can't breathe. I'm so upset. I can't breathe. Stop. You knock on wood so they go to heaven. It's like a lucky. Hey, get the stick.
Yeah.
Hey, do you the meat stick?
Yeah, I got it.
Hey, just hold tight for a second. They're moving the casket. Just hold tight.
Yeah, that's no worries. I got it.
Oh, what an awesome day for a pump, dude.
Yeah, I gotta take it easy. Doc says if I exert myself, I will die.
You overexert yourself, you will die.
I'll tell you what. You finish the workout, all these could be yours. That looks good. A little bit of honey ham for the ham. Get after it, and that's your get after it, and that's your treat. Do the exercise, do the work, then you get the reward. That's how this works, man. You gotta give it max effort, maximum effort. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Big hams. Make it work, those hams. Work 'em. Putting in the work. Yeah, baby. Yes. This is a spicy workout. Make it worth it. Building the beef and bringing home the bacon, baby. I'm loving it. Teriyaki is just about within your reach. Come on, get you some. Come on. Ooh, ooh. Maximum effort. Maximum effort. You're there. You're almost there.
That's so worth it.
What do you make of this up here? Just showed up in the yard a couple days ago.
Dog been digging in there?
I don't think so, dude. That goes way down in there. Seriously, did you just lose your meat stick?
Yeah.
Welcome back to NECC. We're headed to a Game 5. University of Southern Indiana, the Aviators, going head-to-head against Governor State University. A little bit of back-and-forth action here, CB. The last one was a little bit of a barn burner. I will be straight up honest. I didn't expect it. I thought we were going to clean up right there. I didn't expect it.
I didn't expect it either. I kind of, underestimated Aviators, and I also, underestimated specifically from the side of GSU just how much of a force Gremlin would be. We were talking a little bit in the break about how, like, in Marvel Rivals currently with the current balance state, you can kind of take things wherever you want, play whatever heroes you really want, especially if you, like, know what you're good at and you set yourself up to play to those strengths. And it doesn't matter what hero is the strongest. If you are just that guy, you can make it work. And consistently for GSU, Gremlin has been that guy on the Winter Soldier. The problem is over on Aviators. We got a revolving door of that guy.
Which is, like I said earlier, a lot of times, the best coaches in the world are going to say that it's good to have the lazy Susan of hot hands, right? If this player's not working out, it's fine. You've got the next dude coming around, blah, blah, blah. But there's something else to be said about having the reliable lead singer. Every time. Get Gremlin Bucky, let him do his thing. Emma, are you setting him up? If not, you're doing the wrong thing. And you just know what the game plan is. You stick to it. We've played 4 games. It's worked 2 out of 4 of the times. I don't change it coming into Game 5. I stick to it. The questions that I have all concern the other side of the server. Who do you lean on here in your moment of clutch desirability?
Well, that is a very good question. I honestly think, like I said, it could be anybody. It's a revolving door. And I think it's also going to depend a lot on the map pick, because every time we go to a different map, Aviators come out with a different strategy, whether it's just take the fight directly to Governor State or whether it's play for these Jeff Ultimates, these 1-2 punches. They haven't gone back to the same well twice ever since Hall of Dajalia, so wherever we go next, wherever it's going to be, I expect to see Aviators coming through with another challenger to step up. We do have word coming in from production. The map pick that is coming out from the side of Governor State is going to be Central Park.
All I'm saying, multiple maps set in New York City. Must be the greatest city in the world. That's all I'm saying. There's only one.
It's also like the place where in the Marvel universe, like, most of the disasters happen. Like, how many times have y'all been nuked in, like, one of the Iron Man films? Like,
well, I guess greatness attracts, I don't know, some epic sounding word for bad stuff. All I can say, hey, listen.
It's like you and Sokovia have, like, suffered the worst in terms of, like, Marvel cities.
You're not wrong.
Like, Wakanda's kind of up there after Endgame, but, like, they bounced back. They got the back.
You're not wrong. Like, I feel like people in Idaho are like, oh my goodness, what's it like? Meanwhile, the average cabbie or subway dweller is just like, well, I saw Thor the other day. What's going on with him? It's just like, that's just what it is. That's just New York. That's just how we vibe. Central Park, tight one. This is where Squirrel Girl lives. Fun, ha ha ha. let's get away from the flavor and start talking X's and O's. This first point can be really, really oppressive to break on into. There is that little bit of flank on the right-hand side that nobody in their right mind utilizes, but I think frontline becomes very, very important when it comes to taking this spot specifically. And the last curveball that I want to say before we jump into the draft is flank goes crazy here because of all the two left and right lanes that you can walk up, so.
Yeah, and you also mentioned the Squirrel Girl. I do also want to say this is another one of those maps where I think a character like the Human Torch could potentially finally come out if either team does want to reach for those flyers. We have seen Aviators a couple times come out with the Iron Man and the Ultron. There is a lot of those narrow corridors with verticality, with buildings that you could potentially reach for that. Well, we know that they're not going to reach for Spider-Man, so that flavor of flank, not going to happen. And we know no one is playing Captain America because we're not very patriotic today. That's okay. 4th of July was last week. We don't gotta bring Cap to the dance this time around. We can move on to newer and better things like Emma Frost, Magneto, protecting the Namor. That's an interesting move.
Interesting move. So it makes sense. Like I said, you've got this little murder hallway of the middle lane on this map, and Namor punishes that sort of close quarter nonsense really, really well. You don't even have to make a team up with the Hulk. Like the Gamma Monstro is really, really valuable for the range, but because everybody just stuck in there, not a large conversation. Standard kind of protects and bans coming out here as well. The Bucky again for Gremlin one more time, so nothing to really report home here as far as the Strange ban, again, kind of repeated, which has drastically changed our games, by the way. Not a single portal all night. Crazy to think about.
It does make the overtime pushes a little bit less chaotic, but not significantly more so, because we saw in Midtown just how chaotic it can still be when you get all of these OT pushes. Another interesting protect coming out from Aviators. Once again, protecting the Atom Warlock, and I kind of like that for this. I think this is another one where something like the Res Comp can be really effective,
Yes.
kind of mirroring Hala de Jalia in some ways. Governor State have had enough of Jeff. Okay, so they're going to be the first one to be like, that's enough out of you, all right? No more of this Jeff. I think they saw the Namor protect and maybe took the bait a little bit. Maybe they saw that 1-2 punch coming out on Hell's Heaven and they were like, we don't want any of that. You're going to protect the Namor. You're going to try that again. No. All right? Aviators never seem to play the same trick twice, but if this was the first time they were going to, Governor State say, no,
Exactly. That's the bigger point. You know, I was thinking about the squash down of the first point, but the 1-2 combo that we saw in the last map, definitely, I think, the thought process there. I am not a believer in cheese. I simply do not believe in lactose. I think good strats are good strats and force me not to play it type beat. That said, losing to It's Jeff, like 4 separate, I'm just mad at this point. So
I'd be pretty intolerant of that cheese too. Like
like fight me, don't eat me, fight me. This is a frustration ban. This is a PTSD ban, but it's one that I'm 1,000,000% here for. Like, yeah, we lost to the dumb stuff. Rather than figure out how to beat the dumb stuff, just ban it.
The battle starts in 5.
Well, I mean, Aviators not coming out with anything too dumb so far. I mean, this kind of looks like, you know, par for the course, more or less mirroring what they've played for the most part, but without any real tricks up their sleeve. Save for the Namor, I'm curious how long Pengo Wengo is going to stick onto that. We've seen him get value out of it before. Booger Butt gets caught out there real quick.
Well, here's that like hallway that I was talking about where the Monstros will get value, and you do see Booger Butt gammaing it up, so Aviators have a good spot to put those Monstros. They will be rather strong. Fighting up front, look how aggressive the defensive team is here, willing to take task to their opposition and just walk up to the line of scrimmage, no problems. Gotta watch out for the Gremlin, though. That's gonna be the biggest threat. I mean, newsflash, he's scary.
And he's going to be twice as scary with a Cosmic Yarn Amplifier from Zinner coming out. Booger Butt going to get caught out with a hook there this time. That one's not on him, all right? That was a hook getting caught out there. Mel going to get the cleanup kill, and there we go. Kraken Impact coming out, and it is amplified.
Gonna mark the tank, and the strategist, Rosie on the back line, but it's Z-Duel that winds up eating it. Rosie falls down as well, even without the Kraken Impact, and just like that, it's domino. Z-Duel into Rosie, into E-Rock. The rest of Aviators still on the point. Booger Butt just such a problem, not falling at all. And so although Governor State has made a ton of space, not really making progress on the point, now finally looking at these backline strategists, both the tank and Gremlin, pushing them on off. And as a result, the red team get the point.
I think if you're Aviators, you know, you've got this double res composition. You might need to switch things up because all it's really doing is just giving Gremlin more opportunities to pad his stats, all right? Booger Butt dies, gets resed, come back in. That's more health bars just to donate over to his damage over there. Z-Duel falls twice before he's able to get the res off on the Adam Warlock. We'll have it for this next fight, but I would kind of like to see a swap come out from Z-Duel and maybe switch over to something that can try and keep Gremlin in check. That is another insane hook.
That's been the scary thing, is these hooks have been really, really successful for Gremlin, now bringing everything else together. Dari hits the Psionic Seduction to stop everybody in their tracks, but Rosie answers with the blue carpet, and so no problem. And here comes E-Rock's version of the same song. Thunder on the good side. It doesn't matter that E-Rock is up front, the back line finding some of these conversions, and as a result, the point still moving forward. Governor State just making it happen. Booger Butt gonna get involved here. Pops the ultimate. Finds his way to the front line, not even the back line, pushed around the big man. And so Penguengo falls down, but Governor State University still feeling good with Luna.
I mean, Booger Butt even pops the Hulk ultimate there, but it's just not enough. Like, the support isn't there, the pressure isn't there. We can't really do anything to bolster the aggro that you draw with that ultimate, and the momentum's still going for Governor State. Clobbering time, coming out from first Chaos just to keep this pain train rolling, and as the KOs keep falling through, the res gonna come out from Z-Duel, but is that gonna be enough to actually get Aviators back in the fight properly?
I love the res. This is exactly where you want to see it. You've got all the tools in the world, but now you've got to use them. With Gremlin down, Governor State largely neutered as far as offensive capability is concerned, and it's Rosie against the world. Pengo Wengo and E-Rock find two separate takedowns. The BRB is up and bringing back Luna, but the Rocket eats it too. So I was just going to talk about how I think Pengo Wengo's pick is... Pengo Wengo and Z-Duel are both ineffectual. They're not really doing anything. But right there, man, they did it all.
Yeah, you got a lot of value out of those ultimates, but you don't have them anymore. And have a look at that 90% there under Gremlin. You know what is happening. You know you got the Psionic Seduction as well. That's a great limb there onto first Chaos. That's going to stem the bleeding a little bit and make it so that Governor State don't actually get to take this next fight on their terms. Jordan going to fall as well. Pengo Wengo finding the KOs. And that's actually going to burn the BRB from Zinner as well, so that's not going to be on the field. There's the Psionic Seduction. Gremlin is looking for the dunk.
Trying to plan it out. Instead, the stars will not align. Lands on the front side. Gremlin puts down Roger Butt. Lands on the back line. Roger puts down Z-Duel. Lands again on the mid side this time. Gremlin looking for his third, but it's a tank. Finds the dash, makes it happen. Quadruple is on the menu, but Thunder tries to stop everyone. That's 12 seconds of red lights, man.
Yeah, we're going to see the Venom ult come out as well from Governor State. They're able to keep the momentum going, at least for now. Derry going to go ahead and pop the Psionic Seduction, and Thunder falls. Rosie, though, still has the Eternal Bond. Z-Duel just gets clapped there.
And Gremlin right here proving that he's not just an ultimatum, can do work in the neutral. Landing these taps, very, very strong play out of the Bucky. And Gremlin still the focal point for this team. Groot imprisons a whole bunch of different people, but only grabs one. Z-Duel, the only person. All right, Pengo Wengo also gonna join him. So Gremlin on the counterattack, gets grabbed, snagged, and pushed. Still not dead. Nobody can take down Gremlin. And as a result, his team pushes forward, captures 3 separate jerseys, and claims the point.
That's another situation where Z-Duel falls early, even though he had that res and never got the chance to use it. I was questioning if maybe he was going to go for a real late one there to try and get another last-second stall, but that would have been another situation where you don't have a plan B. They get rezzed on top of him.
Is it his positioning, or is it Gremlin doing work to find Duel?
I think it's a little bit of both. Like, I think Z-Duel is getting caught out a little bit by Gremlin, but there's also a lot of support that is helping Gremlin get to Z-Duel regardless of where he is. Rosie's gonna fall early as well, so it's not just Z-Duel getting caught out, and that's the res already burned. And while that's happening, Thunder's also down.
Gremlin on the good side, taking out the Luna. Z-Duel does bring her on back, though, so it's a 6-on-6, no problem. E-Rock's good, so is Pengo Wengo. And there's a strategist one along for the ride. Other side, red team, it's Zinner and Gremlin. And Gremlin waiting for the moment. Derry, 90% there, probably waiting for the 1-2 punch. Giganto comes out, nobody cares. Bogerbutt already down for the count. Instead, it's going to be Gremlin pushing forward, doesn't even use the Kraken, and there's a response anyway. Zinner also has the ultimate available for the ride. And so Gremlin on the back end doesn't even need it, didn't even pop it. Derry starts screaming. And now it's the moment for Gremlin. Trouble on the front line. It's another knockout. E-Rock falls down. Gremlin hasn't even used it. It's the emergency break and doesn't need to pull it. Governor State walking forward, stopped here by the enemy strategist.
There's the Kraken Impact finally gonna come out, but there's just too much healing. But there's not enough to save Bogerbutt, so we're gonna get the again. And there we go. Big damage onto the back line. That might be enough. The bubble actually from Pengo Wengo should shut that down. But look at all the pressure. There's no one on the cart. Governor State able to push it the rest of the way. And they just have Gremlin, the battering ram, kicking the door open for them over and over again. This res comp from Aviators is really tenacious, really scrappy, but sooner or later you run out of extra lives, and it's because Gremlin took 20-6 of them.
The scariest part about it is that Gremlin, like I said in the middle of that game, Gremlin's finding these KOs without the ultimate. It's not surprising when the Bucky goes off and, okay. Yeah, I saw Thunderbolts. But when Gremlin shows up and just bap, and takes down Z-Duel without pressing any buttons besides the primary fire, that's where it gets really scary. When he's pulling players from 200 miles beyond the front line, that's where it gets scary. And that's exactly what Gremlin did this time around. And it feels like the 4 maps we've played just warmed him up even more so.
I also saw Thunderbolts, and I don't remember Bucky ever getting a Kraken Impact off in that movie. I remember him getting it handed to him by Sentry, and I think that might be what Aviators need to finally shut down Gremlin. All right, they need to probe NetEase, get the devs to release Sentry so they can finally get the upper hand here. They're going to swap back over to the Iron Man Ultron composition, the Flyers. This is where we can actually see some of those flanks you were talking about earlier come into play as well.
Do you think this is do you think this deals with Gremlin, like, better than their last composition, Aviators?
I think it's a little bit easier because the targets aren't going to be directly in front of him. You're at least forcing him to have his head on a swivel so he can't just get those free shots on your front line for free. And especially with Bogerbutt going in super aggressive, forcing Gremlin to play a little bit further back, that should set up the angle for either Pengo Wengo or Z-Duel to come in.
Keep an eye on this left side flank as well. Flyers are able to come completely all around, and that's what they do. Pengo Wengo with the double un, and Bogerbutt continues with one of his own. Fantastic 4-piece coming out from Governor State, just pulling the okie doke. And the point belongs to the blue team. They made it look easy.
Yeah, Zinner doesn't want any of that smoke. All right, yeah, he knows. Yeah, we got to get out of here. And turns out,
no thanks.
Turns out you didn't need Sentry. You just had to snap Tony Stark back into existence and pair it up with an Ultron. Easy enough. You send him on a flank, and just like I said, Bogerbutt corrals them all onto the point where they're super vulnerable. Pengo Wengo and Z-Duel just coming with the damage. And again, like, the skies are totally clear right now. There is nothing to stop Z-Duel and Pengo Wengo from keeping this onslaught going.
Complete shutdown. Those two strategists were dead before the fight anybody knew what was happening. They said, help, they're on me. And the strats were dead. Perfectly timed dance floor. Thunder pops out the fate of both worlds to save her own. And there's that 3-tap coming out from Gremlin. Iron Man can't deal with that. Pengo Wengo answers. And Rosie has the strategist ult in the bank when this is over as well. So Aviators pushing into Governor State. They've got all the tools in the world, but Governor State still converting. Gremlin finds a knockdown of his own onto the frontline tank, which should stop a lot of the forward momentum for Aviators. And here's the follow-up from Derry with a psionic seduction of herself.
Pulse Cannon not going to come out. Actually, the Silence going to come out. Z-Duel not able to pop it, but does still have it in the back pocket. Just waiting to try and line some members of Governor State up. Can't quite see him because of the Terror Cape, and there's the dance floor coming out. Maximum Pulse takes down Gremlin. That is public enemy number 1. Done and dealt with. He's going to get the BRB. Rez come back out, and there's the Kraken Impact. Pop it right back. Great snowball, though.
Unfortunate for Aviators. Governor State, chef's kiss. The Iron Man gets one, but it's not who he was looking for, and the BRB just provides another step back in. Spider-Man Mel rolls out the red carpet, and Z-Duel can't kill anybody during that strategy assault. And while Governor State going to filter on in here, as long as Z-Duel doesn't get any of the... As long as he doesn't get any of those kills, Governor State are in a good spot even if Mel falls down.
Well, he ain't getting a whole lot now, courtesy of Gremlin, but we're still getting a little bit of cart progress here. But this is where things are going to start to get tricky for Aviators, because the spawns are going to keep coming back in for Governor State, and as long as there is a body on this cart, it will not progress. And there are 4 of them ready to throw themselves at the problem right now.
E-Rock standing tall as the rest of his team, but not the co-tank along for the ride. Aviators fighting 5-on-6 into this one. Governor State get out of the choke and now push forward into Aviators. Just over 3 minutes on the clock, and Aviators on the back foot now. Gremlin again, just wrestling control of this front side, just behind the tanks. Look how aggressive this guy is, and as a result, finding a bunch of these kills.
Exactly as aggressive as he needs to be. Thunder falls early, and that's going to make things rough for the side of Aviators. They have to trade it out with the KO there onto Jordan Phoenix, but that's going to get rezzed up with the BRB. Gremlin has fallen, though, and with no beacon to res him, he is going to be out of the fight. If these KOs can come through fast enough, Aviators might have done enough.
Mel eats it, and Rosie's ultimate winds up saving the day. Blue team feels good. Red team, well, feels bad. Sometimes it's just that simple. Z-Duel comes up on top of that one. But again, that was all Rosie. Perfectly timed ultimate coming out from the Cloak and Dagger player on Aviators earns them this point.
And it ends up being relatively cheap because that's the only ultimate they really have to spend to get themselves the rest of the way through. It's just an unfortunate timing in the elims that come out where, you know, Zyner's Beacon gets used up too early. You know, so you lose Jordan and then you lose another player and you just don't have that next res to come through. You're not able to get any of those strategist ults out to try and stop the bleeding, and Aviators can keep it going. And you're looking at another unstoppable pulse cannon from the side of Z-Duel. Going to be looking precisely for this ultimate right now. The Eternal Bond, he's hunting.
Ooh, Z-Duel grabs Mel, takes out the support ult, so no strategist available. Now, Psionic Seduction going to answer, and kill feed's all red, folks. That's all it is. It's covered in red. 6 KOs. It's an ace, baby. Governor State, pump the brakes. 2:50 on the clock, and we're at a standstill.
Yeah, they just wait until that pulse cannon comes out and it shuts down Spider-Man Mel, but she gets rezzed off of that beacon. Now you're going to have the Cosmic Yarn Amplifier and the Fate of Both Worlds coming into this next one, so a bit of damage and a bit of protection from the damage. Aviators don't really have a good way to deal with this with that pulse cannon off the field, and with a quick little pause, they're not going to be getting it anytime soon.
Obviously, a little tech issue. I like the Jeff emotes, to be honest with you. A player DC'd from VC. So, audio, we'll see how it all works out. We'll get back in there. We've got, pause. It's all good. I like the Jeff emotes. I like the Venom emotes. Big fan of the emotes. Do you like the, oh, well, okay. I don't need to stall and talk about Marvel Labubus. Instead, we've actually got the game. Back to it. 50% of point 2 to go. And if you don't make it to the end, it's all over. So.
And no time to talk about Marvel Labubus, but we do have some time for Aviators to talk about the boo-boos that they are going to be licking right now. Coming out with the Rage of Ultron early on. Spider-Man Mel getting caught out by Z-Duel there.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Booger Butt makes it on back. A little scared there for the moment, but here comes First Chaos. The Storm Ultimate's available, ready to go. And the Fate of Both Worlds leads the push. Blue team on the back foot, momentum surging forward into the offensive squad. And now here comes the Goddess. Everybody pushed into the corner, forces out the Luna ult. That's what you want. Come back home, girl. You did your job. Fate of Both Worlds spent. Now we fight the neutral.
I mean, you still have the Psionic Seduction coming out, and you also do have the Eternal Bond in the back pocket. If you can get this KO onto Gremlin, who is on death's door right now, you've taken all of the ultimates out of the side of Governor State. That might be enough. Aviators might have done exactly what they need to push us the rest of the way.
Yeah, we go into overtime one more time. We'll see how much time is on the clock. Great knockdowns from Z-Duel confirms 112 for the Aviators and 36 seconds for Governor State.
And that's kind of the thing, right, with that Storm Ultimate. You have that game of chicken between you and the strategist on the other team, but when there's two strategist ults that can potentially completely nullify anything you have to say, you only got to spend one to shut it down. So that ultimate gets absolutely nothing, and they think it's safe. They get lulled into that false sense of security, but then you still have the Eternal Bond, and that's not even, what kicks off the fight. It's the Psionic Seduction that comes down from Iraq. Once again, the president, the founder of the Aviators Esports Club, and honestly, got my vote again after this.
Yeah, doing a fantastic job. Honestly, like I said, I love my Vanguards. There's so much responsibility put on a Vanguard shoulder, and everybody feels that way about the strategist, and then they thank the strategist, and nobody gives duelists their flowers because they always get MVP in the highlight reel. But what about the front line? Okay? I'm always going to give it up for my frontliners, and Iraq and Dari. Honestly, like, all jokes aside, I'm having some fun here, folks, but Iraq and Dari have been the enablers for both of these squads, straight up and down.
Yeah, and they're also the IGLs for both squads. So, you have this kind of like head-to-head, captain versus captain on the front line, and both are absolutely shining. They're setting their other players up to make these big plays, whether it's Zedul and Panglowengo on the side of Aviators, or whether it's Gremlin on the side of Governor State. There is still so much potential, and I love leaders that uplift everyone around them. Boogerbutt is not in any mood to uplift anyone, though. Wants to pound them down straight into the pavement, but again, getting caught out a little aggressive.
I like to see a Thing main. Who mains the Thing? Really like to see this dude come out. Came out as a response to the Wolverine initially, and Boogerbutt has just stuck to it. It's worked most of the time, I'll say. Not the strongest point, but not the weakest point. Z-Duel, the weakest point in this push. That's the 5-on-6. No BRB available. And Iraq also fallen down, but the strategists wind up saving the lifestyle. Governor State University continuing to push on in. Gremlin goes into the Kraken ultimate and take it down. He'll res again,
right back.
but it's over.
And no more Kraken impact, completely off the field, but we do have a final judgment coming out from Zyder.
Huge.
Fate of Both Worlds going to come out to try and soak up the damage. It's still possible that someone could fall through it, and Spider-Man Mel going to double down with the Eternal Bond. Z-Duel is so low, though. Zyder has found that one, going to get that crucial pick off there and live to tell about it.
Not a great ego chow right there for Z-Duel. 4 players standing on the point, but it's Governor State. Strong 6 players. Here comes Dari's ultimate as well, and that'll control the spot, but Gremlin put down. Takedown onto Luna, though, should open the door here for Governor State. Scratch that. Boogerbutt makes a huge play. And the ultimate sets up 3 separate players to fall on down. Z-Duel makes up for his previous transgressions, nails a couple of knockdowns, looks at the tank, won't even use the ultimate. Finds it after the fact. And just like that, Governor State. Oof.
F-Dot, what happens if we draw? Because that's a real world that we could live in, and we're only a minute and 36 away from it. Aviators will have a minute and 36. They're able to full hold, not give up any progress over to the side of Governor State. But if they don't manage to break through the defense quickly, they only realistically maybe get 2 cracks at this. If they can't make it happen in those, 2 fights, we might go to a map 6.
Yeah, we just do it again. We just shake the Etch-a-Sketch and go to a map 6. I'm always here for more Marvel.
Me as well, and so are these players if they have anything to say about it. This is where Gremlin can completely shut things down.
Here's the question,
he has
though.
to try and shut him down completely. Go ahead.
Real quick, so this point was grabbed very quickly last time by Panglowengo and Z-Duel on the flyers, right? You had Iron Man and Ultron just go ahead and flank, take out the back line, and they just won it off of that. Aviators are going to deviate from it. I was going to ask you, do you do the same thing? Aviators say no. CB, if you're coaching this team, what do you say?
Aviators' MO has been to never do the same trick twice, all right? You can already kind of see the way Governor State are postured. They're kind of expecting that flank to come out. They haven't quite learned their lesson. And Aviators, you say they deviate more like the Deviators, haha. Pengo on the Squirrel Girl I really, really like because Governor State, for the most part, play kind of front to back, and all of the damage that comes out from that spam might just be enough to force them back and take the fight on the point, and that's where there's that risk of slipping up. The one hair in the soup is going to be first Chaos. He's been dealt with, but there is going to be the BRB there, but that's already burnt.
I think the change for Pengo Wango is going to be a big deal. That Squirrel Tsunami goes insane on this point. Booger Butt knocks open the door, and the root's going to be good across the way, but still no takedown. Gotta look at Gremlin's ult charge. That's all I'm staring at. 99, 100. He's ready to go, but it's going to be first Chaos on the Venom that was played earlier on. GSU won game number 1, and it was Venom that helped him do so.
That's bad. That KO onto Spider-Man Mel, and the Squirrel Tsunami coming through, that might be enough.
Could be. The jump is good, and here comes out the blue carpet. Aviators take down 3 separate jerseys. 1 point is all they need to end this right here, right now. Chaos is up. Dari is barely alive. And the Venom just swinging around. That's all she wrote. Aviators push on in. Venom needs to fall down, and he does! Aviators take down the front line, take down the strategist, and take it in overtime of map number 5.
And we thought it was going to be Governor State going all the way. Aviators said, nay, we're going to take it all the way to a map 5, nearly a map 6, but they flip the script again. They leave Governor State guessing what their next move is going to be. It wasn't the Iron Man this time around, the one that got them the point cap so quickly. It was the Squirrel Girl that comes through with the unstoppable Squirrel Tsunami that they never saw coming. The BRB beacon gets burned way too quickly, and you lose Spider-Man Mel. She's not there to keep the heals up, not there to build up to the Eternal Bond, and when that Squirrel Tsunami comes through, there is no shelter, no safe place for Governor State, and Aviators soar high in map 5.
Oh my goodness. Game 1, Aviators looked head and shoulders the better squad. And then even when Aviators won in the middle of it, I would say for the majority of that sandwich part, it seemed to go the other way. And then here in map 5, specifically in that OT, Aviators just looked like staunchly the better team here. Kind of interesting, you know? Gremlin being kept at bay kind of fixed all of the issues for Aviators.
Yeah, I mean, like, Gremlin was no doubt the MVP for the side of Governor State, and he was constantly making miracles happen, constantly brute forcing fights that Governor State might not have had any say in otherwise, finding the KOs, making it happen, hitting the big Kraken impacts. But the problem is brains versus brawn, all right? You've got this one big burly dude, and he just got outwitted by the flexibility from the side of Aviators. Pengo Wango, I gotta give, props to. Switching over from the Ultron over to the Squirrel Girl, also did the same thing over on Midtown. You've got Z-Duel, who comes out with, like, the Adam Warlock, the Iron Man. You're constantly swapping roles here. That's the beauty of Marvel Rivals. You can play whatever you want. You can make whatever work, and especially at this level. If you can make it work, hey, you can have your bag of tricks be 30 deep. You got no problem. Aviators, I mean, like, what do? You come at us with plan A, we got B through Z still.
Yeah, bunch of different strategies as we looked through map 1, map 2, map 3. I mean, Aviators, map 2, they brought up the Iron Man and they were like, hey, check us out. And then they didn't bring it back till map 5, and they used it in a very specific concourse, right? They went and they got that surprise flank, and that's what won them that first time around. And then they did something different when they had to do it again in OT. That's the fun part. So having fun messing around with different picks, absolutely what these players want to do, and got away with it. So glad we got all 5 games and just got to see the tail end of it, because we started off with a little hiccup, and then we got some overtime all the way through. Fun kind of interactions. I think the only thing we didn't see was like real dedicated dive. Like the Psylocke and the Black Panthers type style didn't come out, but other than that, we saw every other playstyle Rivals offers.
Pretty much. I mean, a teeny bit of dive in the Venom coming out, but only briefly.
True.
Blink and you miss it, and I don't think anyone's missing it anytime soon. But we have a ton of styles. We have a ton of different ways that you can play. These teams know what they are good at, and they do it damn well. And there's a lot of rising stars on both teams. That's something that I'm excited about. Like, even in defeat, Gremlin still comes out of this looking like a hero. Zdul and Pango Wango, as well as the team captains from both sides. There is a lot of potential in the NECC scene right now. I think it's a really exciting time to be a Marvel Rivals fan, and I think that this match, even just kind of being like middle of the pack in this group, does shine a light on the potential for what we could be in store with for the playoffs going on next week, you know, as well as the upcoming season in the fall. I think it's going to be a great time to stay tuned in.
Yeah, you're absolutely not wrong. I'm going to say everything she just did. It's been a lot of fun, and Aviators should take this one. Congratulations to them. We've got 16 teams that have earned their way into the playoffs, and that'll be happening next week. Thank you so much for joining us this time. We hope you join us next time. This has been NECC. Y'all have been great. Peace, and much love to you.
Oh, no. There's something in there, dude. Just leave it.
Are you kidding me?
We'll just head to the house. Just leave it.
The hell with that.
Oh, yeah. There's something in there. Ah!
Motlin.
Thank you.
It was worth it.
Oh, man, this is incredible.
Oh, wow.
Huh?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. Hey, man, grab me a meat stick. I think I can reach it if I just a little more. Just let me go a little. I can't. Just a little more. I almost got it. Careful! Oh, God. No, come on, just reach. Reach. Just grab my hand. I can't hold it. Grab my hand.
Give me the meat stick. This other hand's closer.